Hi, everyone. This is that episode that happens to so many people in so many streams and YouTube channels across the interverse that no one likes to make. Unfortunately, we're going to have to, we felt it best to come forward with you guys right here live instead of, in a announcement or anything. But this is going to have to be our last D&D stream. We just can't do it anymore. And I'm sorry. Just can't do it. I can't keep up the facade.
April Fools.
I don't think anybody was fooled at all.
No, I will say I did mute because I didn't trust you not laughing.
I was even trying my hardest to look so sad and disappointed. Druid got told hi.
yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Wait, you guys know it. She couldn't keep straight.
Oh, apparently Fate was trying too hard.
Mm-hmm.
Was I trying too hard too?
My birthday's so close, I'm used to all the April 1st tricks. I'm sure you are. Yeah. I'll bet.
Yeah, my birthday's coming up in May.
Mm-hmm. Now, in reality, we are having so much fun with you guys and with this. This is Twitch fam right here. This is Twitch fam at its finest. And I love you guys, and I love this campaign and this world, and we're having so much fun.
So, sorry, I just have to say, so Aries, Daddy Dagoth, and OG Blaze all have a birthday.
Yeah.
All April
That's
birthdays.
awesome.
Wow.
Yep.
Bunch of April babies.
It was established yesterday in chat that
Where was I?
you were at work.
Well, whose fault is that? It's his, yeah. Angry Angel, hello.
It's okay, Fate. I had to miss out on bandwidth and banter yesterday because of work.
Mm-hmm.
I miss out on bandwidth and banter every time.
Except you don't have to. You have it on the YouTube.
But live.
Yeah.
No, okay,
Watch
true.
it live.
True. It is better live. I
What
get it.
sucks is that you guys do bandwidth and banter. You guys are usually a half hour to 45 minutes into it when I go on my lunch. But my service is so poor. You guys are super choppy, and it's I
understand.
can't watch.
I get it. Good evening to thee, Lord Brett. It's good to see all of you. So happy to have you all here for our 51st episode. Just like Aries said, 50 down. I don't know if it'll be 50 to finish out this campaign. Another 50, probably not. I'm sure we all wouldn't mind, but I don't think it's going to take another 50. I really don't. But if I had to guess, I'd say probably half that. So you can kind of guesstimate, somewhere between 20 and 30 more sessions, I suspect.
But yes, good evening, lords and ladies of Stormkeep.
Yeah, just as she said, good evening, lords and ladies of Stormkeep. I'm StormyD, your host and dungeon master, and I play the characters, or the NPCs and the monsters, and help things run along in the world that we've created together. And right over here to my left is my lovely, amazing partner, who is...
Hello, I am itsStarkitty, and I bring this lovely character to life here by the name of Emillynn Ray.
Well said.
She's the bard and party leader, or the war bard and party leader, as everybody likes to say. And then this is Philip.
Yeah.
Philip says hello.
Right on.
And Philip loves Lorkris. He likes to mention that a lot.
Speaking of Lorkris, who's that right over there?
I don't know.
Philip approves.
Some guy. Yeah, he goes by the name of Fate. Well, he plays the character Lorkris. The Goliath, who is a gonna, karate chop the Druid here in a second.
Is she okay?
Do you need to Technical difficulties, everyone.
It's all right.
I kind of know the Heimlich maneuver, but I can't help.
He's
Kinda.
a former EMT.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I know what to do. Call 911.
Actually, that's a good idea because they will walk you through how to do it.
That's true.
Yes.
Yes, as if the two of you
anyway.
did. Yeah.
I am Fate, everybody, and I'm playing Lorkris, the Oathbreaker, Paladin of Melora, and Path of the Grave, Cleric of Weejas. Resident grumpy boy, and hater of caves and deep water.
Caves in deep water, right on. All right. And then right next to you is the amazing.
I'm Druid IRL, and I play Fern, who is the Circle of Spores Druid, and this is Chonkopod.
Chonkapod.
Chonkopod. All hail Chonkopod.
All hail Chonkopod.
All hail Chonkopod.
Hi Rhea, hello. Sorry, during D&D streams we have those, but thank you for the point spent.
Oh yeah, I guess that's what we could do is try and like redeem it, try and act them out ourselves. Wow.
Somebody
yeah.
redeem the Somebody redeem the coffin dance. I got you.
It's so awesome to have all you, and it looks like we got a new, I mean, not necessarily a new person to the channel, but a new person chatting in channel tonight. He's obviously chatted here before, but
Hello, Shadow Man.
hey, Shadow Man, what's going on? How you doing? He heard EMT and I popped up. I take it you're an EMT?
There you go, Druid.
There we
Are
go.
we ready? Are we ready?
Hi, BT.
Dugan, by the way, hi Banana Tom. Hi. Shadow Man, type in chat.
Hey, goblins and warlocks. And hello, Angry Angel.
Is Shadow Man one of yours?
Shadow Man
Huh?
was the kid that I used to babysit when I was 14.
That explains it. Okay, all right, right on. It's so awesome to have you, Shadow Man.
Hey, it's Wookiees and Cookies too.
Yay, it's D&D. Banana Tom couldn't resist. Yep.
Oh my God, Wookiees and Cookies, your stream last night, just watching you and your friends walking around those maps T-posing. It was hilarious.
With the giant heads, I know, right?
Oh man, we raided into the stream last night. I was like, why is everybody T-posing?
Yeah.
Yup.
Yeah, Wookiee's like, it's the April Fool's update for the game. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense now.
That does make sense. Yep.
I thought maybe there's something going on in the game.
Yep. Well,
My other two wishes is another fresh pot of coffee that won't keep me up all night, but will maintain my energy. And better tasting pizza rolls. Because these are the off-brand pizza rolls, so they're not as good.
Why am I not surprised that they're the off-brand pizza rolls?
My mother bought them, that's why.
Oh, I am so much happier going. I'll pass.
Yeah. Those are my two wishes.
Okay.
you died on the first pull of that monkey paw. Right on. Oh wow. So recap last week. Oh my gosh. It was a big week. Stuff happened. The party members finally made it to their primary mission quest, their platinum level deep quest that they've been sent on, their own personal expedition to find a way through the mountains and the mystical barrier and into a place called the Forgotten Falls Estuary. And they found it. And it's not looking good. They found that the river that the Forgotten Falls estuary feeds into has been blighted or corrupted by some sort of strange, dark, giant vine that stretched for miles all the way into the swamp. And then they made their way, when they found the little grotto where the waterfall creates the pool's just terrible and stagnant, and the plant life around it was mostly dead. And then they made their way up the steps to the cavern behind the falls that has a large Skyrim-style crack in the ceiling of the hillside of the hillock, so that light streams down and creates a little mini forest, its own ecosystem inside this place, with now another pond with another waterfall. And inside that, there's a little mini forest with mostly dead trees and a giant ancient tree that is the source of that strange vine or vine-like appendage. And as they made their way in, they also found the corpses of 4 dead gold-level adventurers who must have stumbled across this place years ago. And unfortunately, those dead adventurers animated into these strange, yellow, glowing-eyed, kind of skeletal, undead creatures they were pseudo-undead, not exactly undead. They were pseudo-undead, and they had these worms just spilling out of their eyes and their orifices that leapt out on you and tried to infect the party members, but luckily they resisted that. After dispatching those, they continued forward, and just as they got close enough to the large tree to really realize a shocking fact, to have this shocking realization, before they had a chance to even study it and discuss it and even process it, they were attacked by 3 of the trees, who suddenly were suddenly animated. And these 3 dead trees had these glowing yellow eyes, and they had to dispatch them. And they put the hurt on the party members really fast. Not all the party members, but everyone took a few licks. Party leader took the most. She's hurting pretty bad right now.
I was like, a few? Mm-hmm. Excuse me, those things hit pretty hard.
Yeah. But after dispatching them, now they're standing there, all kind of slack-jawed, not sure what to say or do, because what they see on that tree is a carved face. It's very similar, almost exact, to the faces that Fern has been sculpting on trees throughout the southern area, in Misty City, in her garden, in the Sacred Grove, near the Night Watch Tower, several different places. And so they're all kind of in shock. What does this mean? Well, how can this be? And so that's where we're at. I believe we literally left off on the cliffhanger of she had moved forward toward the tree. Here, I'll go to this scene right here. She had moved forward towards the tree and was looking at the face and was reaching out. I'll kind of move the dispatched trees out of the way. And she was moving towards the face, reaching out to inspect it. And that
was going to cast Speak with Plants, and that's where we ended.
Right, that was where we ended. So it was a nice cliffhanger. So with saying that, with describing what happened last week, let's go into what stood out the most to everybody last week. Lorkris.
I'm trying to find the best way to make that pun.
Oh.
You, Stormy.
I mean, you
So
did
I'm just
get
gonna
hammered
say-
by those trees. What did you say? It
I
was.
was.
Don't ask me.
Yeah. Those willows really gave Emillynn a whomping. Call them whomping willows. Anyway, did not expect the trees to be alive. That must hurt Fern to have to strike a tree, though. Lorkris has kind of got a little panic on the inside, like, I just, cut one of them down real hard. I hope she doesn't hurt me. I really hope we don't have to go in that water. I can't even see the bottom. This place is weird. I'm gonna have to get in that water, huh? Emillynn will have an idea. Emillynn, what are we doing?
Oh.
Well said. Okay.
The inner thoughts of Lorkris.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. On the above table aspect, I really like the visual of the dead adventurers that as they came up, like that idea with the worms and all that. I thought that was a really cool visual, and kind of a moment that our characters wouldn't expect really, and it was a great way of kind of catching us off guard, in a really creative narrative way that I was like, initiative, let's go. I didn't see that coming. Should have though. Yeah. So just want to highlight that as from a player standpoint. I really liked how that encounter panned out.
Nice. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Wookiees, seriously.
Damn, dude. You're reaching on that one. Digging deep.
That's amazing.
All right. So, Miss Emillynn Ray.
Oh, it's my turn? Okay, man.
Anyone help?
Yeah,
Wow. Okay.
I'm done.
Leave it to Wookiees.
oh my goodness. Okay, so what stood out to my character last week? Was not expecting dead adventurers to come back to life in this area that we're in. Totally took me by surprise. As I was flipping one over to retrieve their gold popper, I was not expecting that at all. So we had to defeat them. And then, man, what do we do to anger the trees? Fern is supposed to speak for the trees. What happened? Because, man, those Whomping Willows hit pretty hard. They hit pretty hard.
Question, is Fern just this universe's version of the Lorax?
Yes.
Because she speaks for the trees.
She speaks for the plants. She speaks for the
Yeah.
animals.
Yeah. You're a Lorax.
Yeah, I think I made that comment like during one of our like first few sessions where I was like, "My name is Fern and I speak for the trees."
Yep. Fern speaks for the trees, and the trees are pissed.
But Fern didn't
Yep.
talk to the trees.
No.
He shifted from.
Trees to cheese.
Yep.
Oh,
All right.
man.
He definitely is good at bringing on the cheese.
But I do have to say, Philip and I are trying to figure out if Fern has been here before, or maybe it's an ancestor of hers that made this face on these trees, because It's carved into the tree. It's a little different from what Fern does. She usually uses moss.
Well, I think it's a mixture of both, right?
Well,
Refresh my memory.
what? No. So initially it was going to be carving faces, and then you made a comment of like, how would you feel if somebody carved into you?
Oh, I did.
Like
That's
when
right.
you were
Right.
talking.
Right.
Yeah,
Right,
and then
right.
so I switched it from carving faces to sculpting faces with dirt and mud and moss and creating more
Right,
intricate
right.
faces that way.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, the more I think about it too, if you're only manipulating the bark part, it wouldn't be harmful to the tree. So maybe there's a little bit of both. Sculpting is
Little bit of both. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sculpting and all of that stuff, and sometimes you have to try to like pry off a little bit of the bark to get the eyes right, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It was really, really hard to sculpt out, you know, the ugly Lorkris face. So I had to really, really, you know, practice hard.
To be clear, this face is, like I said, it's just like what she's been doing. It's not any different.
Oh, okay.
Just to make it clear.
I'm pretty sure Fern asked the tree for permission if she's going to carve into it first.
Well, she doesn't carve with a weapon.
Yeah.
She uses her druidic manipulation to
Oh, okay, I'm sure she gets permission from the trees
Yeah.
before she graffitis on them.
Yeah.
She's a druid tattoo artist.
Exactly.
She specializes in portraits.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's exactly the way I've
Victorian
It's
style
funny that
portraits.
she's laughing about this now. That's the way I've envisioned it the whole time.
Fern comes up there and she's trying
Graffiti?
She's like, I got this. Where'd you get that? I don't know.
And she makes the noise too while she's doing it.
Ross is doing it.
When she hits a knot.
Well, speaking of Fern, it's her turn.
It's on a tree, so it's just scratch. Go. Sorry.
The tree has the face on it. I thought it was an original idea that I had. And apparently it's not. And I don't know how to feel about it. And, you know, I'm kind of sad that we had to kill some trees and stuff, but because they were probably put there by... I can't stop. Hold on. Hi, chat with your cup.
She's able to see the chat just past the mic.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like trying not to look at over here, because that's where my chat is.
Go. Chat's gone.
Well, we'll go to, as soon as you're done, as soon as we're done, we'll go chat dark and you guys can cover it up, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Go on.
but still, I mean, it is Dr. Fern, and she does have her PhD in treeology.
That's true. But seriously, go ahead, Fern.
You know, so it's really like, did I used to do this, and then this is like a memory that came up from before? I lost all of my memories and stuff. Like, what happened? I don't know, and it's kind of weird. I don't know how to feel about it. And I'm scared to talk to the tree. I don't like this place. It makes me sad, like when we had to kill, you know, the bog witches and tried to fix it and everything. I don't like it.
Gotcha. Okay. Anything else
What
to
about
add?
Rylar?
So nothing else to add from anybody? So Rylar, he's been kind of fixated because he's been, Miss Ray's been trying to teach him how to understand his ability to visualize magic, right? You know, he can detect magic at will just by looking at things, but he's never been very good at discerning the different kinds of magic to understand them better. And so he's been practicing and trying. And so during this, obviously, you know, he he was focused for fighting the trees, which, by the way, he was like, I don't understand why these trees are being mean to us. But they seem really weird with the yellow eyes and stuff. That's so different. And he's like, but at any rate, he's focused on that the big tree seems to have a kind of a glow on it. And so does from where the whatever the vine thing is that's attached to it into the water, it seems to have a more intense glow there as it goes into the water, and he's kind of focused on that, and he's just trying to understand it better, and so he hopes to talk to Miss Ray about that. And he did not like those weird skeleton men, those adventures, and he's like, didn't like them worms trying to grab us. He was ready to run out the cave at that point. He's like, didn't want to get it by the worms. And so that's it for him.
Out of character, I hope this grandmother Willow is really nice to us.
I know.
One other thing that stood out in Rylar's mind as well, I forgot to mention, is I can't do it. I can't do it. I was gonna make a joke, but I can't do it.
You should totally do it now. You brought it up.
Or are you gonna make a joke on how the tree looks like a nutsack?
Yeah. Rylar's like,
that was so
the giant tree looks like a nutsack.
I fought so hard to say it out loud last time, and it's like, it was too serious of a moment, and I'm like, I don't want to ruin it with a comedy right now.
Nope, I gotcha. Yeah. Oh God, Wookiees. Yeah, like what's funny is that last week when I was drawing this, I didn't realize that it looked like what they were saying, but apparently it did. So for you guys who were in on the joke as I was drawing the joke, kudos to you.
It disappeared once you flip the map around. Like, it doesn't look like that now.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, that's great content. I got no problem with that.
It was pretty funny.
All right.
It was hilarious.
All right. So thank you for sharing your thoughts and feelings of your characters. And thank all you guys for coming tonight. Episode 51. We're going to get deep in the thick of it. Find out maybe peel some more layers of the onion away. We'll see what happens. We're going to go chat dark now. Appreciate all you guys. We're going to have an intermission probably in an hour and a half or so. And enjoy the show. Okay. As soon as Fern gets done, or Druid gets done, because Fern's wouldn't stop to eat in this moment. She looks like you're really having a hard time eating that pizza roll. It looks awful.
It's bad, guys. Don't buy the Safeway off-brand of pizza rolls. Don't do it.
Wow, Safeway still exists? Holy crap.
Yeah.
Sriracha couldn't even save them.
Wow.
It's gross. So gross.
Some things are just inedible.
I ate too many of them to be proud. So, anyways, okay, I'm ready now. Fern's here, and she's sad.
Yeah, so Fern has moved closer and closer and is reaching out. And you guys are kind of in a kind of a stunned state at the moment, but you do see that she's reaching out to touch this thing before you guys have even really kind of done any kind of cursory investigation or inspection of anything. And you have a come to your senses party leader.
Fern, don't wait. Fern, stop. Stop. Whew. I'm a little hurt, but hey, yeah. So, Make my way up.
Hey, Miss Lorkris, can you help out Miss Ray? Look at that. She's bleeding from all kinds of places.
Go up to Miss Ray and grab her by her face and cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level.
Okay.
I'll look at Rylar and go, huh. I didn't know I shrunk.
What?
Huh?
Rylar is like, hey, Lorkris, can you do something about Miss Ray? And Fern walks up, got it! Huh. Smaller.
Ray was already walking up to her. And I have Cure Wounds right there.
He's got it.
Okay. Oh, that's good. So,
As she's doing that, I'm like, Fern, were you gonna really touch the tree before Rylar does his magic eyes?
14 points of healing.
Ooh, I'm at 34.
Yay! Yeah.
We've talked about this before we touch anything that we're unsure of. Rylar's got to take a look to see if it's magical in any way.
what? And you guys are good at like inspecting stuff too. I've been kind of focusing on it, and it's definitely weird. Although I suppose that she's still gonna probably have to touch it and figure it out and talk to it and stuff. You know.
Yes, but I want to make sure that the tree is going to be okay, because I don't want her to touch it and then all of a sudden she's teleported somewhere and we have no idea where she went.
That's really where you went? Okay.
With all the teleportation circles around in these root clusters, what if there's a root cluster under this tree?
Well, I thought you guys were telling me there's no root clusters over this direction, this far to the west. Well,
Probably
anywho,
understand.
the tree I've been focusing on, there's like all kinds of magics. Can you help me, Miss Ray, and look at it with your detect magic too?
Sure. I cast detect magic and I focus.
All right. So, Rylar says, I see that there's like lots of different magics on the tree. Is that right? And you confirm with him that that's true. There's a few different magics kind of swirling through it, which is really strange. But you do notice when you kind of move over, to the shoreline over here and focus on where the root comes out of, or not where that vine-looking thing comes out of it near the bottom and then goes, that way, goes into the water. You guys are kind of looking at it. There's a couple of different magics that are. I don't remember the schools they are, so I'm just going to basically kind of describe it. You come to the conclusion that it seems like there is basically two kind of enchantments. One is sort of a magical, like a disease, and one is like a magical curse. And then she's obviously mesmerized by the face. But she has the wherewithal to come up here and look at it, and Lorkris too. Like you kind of all are focusing because they're focusing. You want to see what they're focusing on, and now that you're looking closer at it, the Paladin of Melora and the Druid of Melora realizes that thing isn't a vine; it's a root, a giant root that comes out of the bottom of the tree, and it seems to have grown in inordinate, obviously, like I said, miles. I mean, when I say miles, like days of walking miles. So probably over 50, 60 miles all the way into the swamp, maybe more. And for all you know, in fact, I would say let's have Fern roll me a nature check, because it would be her natural inclination to think of it in terms of, her understanding of nature. What'd you get?
I rolled a 1.
What was the total though?
That brings it to a total of 9.
Ah, okay.
You want to use your inspiration die?
I mean, I could re-roll. I do have inspiration.
Fern is feeling a little disheartened right now with
Yeah, that's true.
going on.
She realizes it's a root, but it doesn't necessarily dawn on her anything. You don't have to use the inspiration die for that. But Lorkris, you can roll a nature knowledge check too, obviously, because.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Let me grab my.
I mean, you guys are both nature experts, so.
24 for mine. I rolled a natural 20.
The look on her face is priceless. What'd you get?
20.
Okay, nice. She rolled a natural 20, so yeah, 24, 20. Both of you realize that it's a root, and you kind of put 2 and 2 together. But I guess, yeah, Fern is kind of in a stunned state right now, trying to process everything that's gone on. There's this corrupt nature going on in this beautiful place. And then, that strange root stretching down to the swamp. Both Lorkris and Emillynn Ray suspect that root might actually reach all the way to the other grove. The other corrupted grove, and might have been some portion or part of why it was corrupted. Despite, and that's on top of the fact that, there was the that carving of dark symbols on the rock. And so it makes you think back to that, and you're like, well, maybe we should look around. First of all, we need to think about what we know, but maybe we should also look around some more and see if there's anything similar.
Mm-hmm. Look for any writing.
Lorkris will, look at Emillynn and go, you reckon this makes it to the grove and the bog?
It's a possibility, yes.
And at that point, when they say that out loud, now it dawns on Fern too. Oh, yeah.
I mean, it does seem to go, and he'll just turn around as if he could look to see where it's at and be like, right?
All right. So looking around, where are you going to go inspect? And you going to help him?
Yeah.
Or are you going to focus on the root? Because like I said, you're kind of done your focusing. You realize that it has, I don't remember the schools, I could look it up, but it's not really that relevant. You come to the conclusion that there are a number of different magics that are kind of suffusing this tree, or infused in this tree, and that is, but there are 2 primary ones, and they seem to be concentrated at that root. And as Rylar focuses and looks longer, he says, look, deep in that root, it seems like there's this one super bright, glowy magic part that's I don't know, deep inside that root or something. You see it? And you look closer and you see it too. You have a question, Druid?
Is there a way that I can walk around and look at it closer? At the root, where the root is coming out?
No.
You'd have to walk into the water.
Well, yeah, the water's deep. But while Lorkris is looking around, he's like, okay, he thinks of that, and then you of course Rylar distracted you to look at the root, but sure enough, even without, I guess actually I'm gonna have Lorkris. Are you gonna basically kind of search this area, Lorkris, without touching the tree, I assume? Or are you just gonna look? If you're just looking with a cursory inspection.
I think
I'm expecting you to find Roanoke carved on a tree somewhere.
That's me. I would imagine Lorkris would kind of like he wouldn't touch the big tree,
Right.
but he would kind of get closer to it, and then like as he goes around, like just kind of observing, and then would kind of make his way to like circle around to the other trees that didn't animate, and just kind of get a sense of like, do I think these are gonna come after us as well? And kind of just
So you're focusing on the trees, or are you focusing on the rocks, on the stone wall of the cave?
oh, is there something on the stone wall?
Well, we
Like,
just had
yeah,
this
he'd probably
discussion
do it.
about you guys put two and two together, that the other place, the root seems to have attached to the other place, and you guys found that other. Yeah.
I see. I was thinking purely just the root thing.
Okay.
Personally, yeah, I'll take a look and see if there's anything in this vicinity that we can see that may be similar or correlative to the bog grotto.
Okay, go ahead and roll me your whatever it is in 5th ed, inspection or search.
Investigation.
Thank you. Yeah, and Fern, what are you gonna do? Are you just gonna kind of stand there a little bit, kind of stunned, and let people direct you?
She's gonna go sit in front of the tree's face.
Okay.
Druid, does your character have detect magic too?
She has access to it, but I do not have it on, like, at
You
all,
don't
ever.
have it prepped? Okay.
I don't have it prepped.
It's a cantrip?
No, it's a first level spell.
Oh, it is. Okay. All right.
Yeah, but you can ritually
I don't-
cast detect magic, which is what I do since it's on my spell list.
But you didn't this time, though, right?
No, I didn't, just so I could like
Yeah.
see exactly what Rylar's seeing.
Okay.
20 total for investigation.
Wow, nice. Yeah. So sure enough, kind of almost hidden back here in the back, where the branches and the you know, the way that the tree has grown over time, and the roots reaching into the ground and stuff. There's this kind of stone tablet. It's really kind of rough hewn. It's not you know, it's not finely carved or anything. It's just kind of a rough stone extrusion, and it definitely seems to have some of that same strange writing that Rylar, what's the word? Graffitied? No, what when you? I guess, yeah. You remember you guys had him.
Use his eyes to read it.
Well, you had him read it, but you also had him.
Yeah, we
Fix
had him
it.
use his Eldritch Blast to destroy it.
Yeah. Mhm.
Right. Yeah. I'll see it. I'll process like, huh. Hey, Rylar,
Yeah, boss.
you come here for a second.
Okay. You got this, Miss Rare, or shall we go look?
What'd you find, Lorkris?
I can't read it.
You found writing? I'm not gonna
I
go
don't know.
all the way over. I'm gonna like keep an eye on Fern, make sure she doesn't touch the tree yet.
Well, for you to see it, you're gonna have to come closer.
Yeah, but I
Oh.
trust Rylar
Okay.
and Lorkris.
I'm not going to touch the tree yet.
Rylar, are those words? I don't know.
Well, they're not exactly words. They're like rune. They're like weird runes and stuff, right?
And they're magical, yeah?
Out of character, they were last time at the other grove, right? Do you guys remember?
I
believe
don't.
so.
Yeah, I believe
I
so.
I honestly don't remember.
I'm pretty sure. Hold on. I need the chronicler. Where are you, chronicler?
You're talking about Banana Tom?
Banana Tom, do
might
you
know.
remember? Did you watch that?
Of course he did.
Watch that episode yet?
Yeah, I know.
Oh
he's,
yeah,
he's
he's
passed
long
it.
past that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might be briefly AFK, but yeah. So there was. I remember that
Pretty sure. Because that's also where we found the staff. my fancy stuff.
Yeah. But the fancy staff was like up around.
It's all right, Banana Tom. Thank you, though.
Yeah, it's all right, brother. Okay, back to chat dark. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure that there is an aura of magic to them, and I remember you guys had to dispel magic, and then you had him deface them. That's the word I was looking for. He defaced them, and then and that helped with the healing process of the place. So,
we should probably get rid of this, huh?
You guys want me to cast? Well, maybe we should. Shouldn't we I'll get rid of it if you want. Should we talk to Ms. Ray about Hey, Ms. Ray?
Yes, Rylar.
Oh, there's lots of stuff to think about it. I'm confused.
Well, what does it say?
Well, no, remember, it's not like words that you can. It's just like it's intent, right? It's the intent. It's the intent to be like.
Can you tell what the intent is?
It's not good.
You need to destroy it like you did the other one?
Well, yeah, probably, but maybe we should talk about everything that's going on that we see and kind of think of it all together.
Okay. Come on, Fern, let's go take a look.
Okay.
Don't worry, you'll get to talk to the tree soon.
I don't mean that you guys gotta come look at this thing. That's fine if you don't want to. I just want to talk to you guys about. So we know that the root has two kinds of magics in it, and we know that this thing is some sort of, I don't know. It's a bad stone. It's a bad rock carving, and we got to get rid of it, right? So I could do that. Remember, I got to dispel magic now, and I can also purple beamer it. But
couldn't Fern just rip it out of the wall?
No, it's stone. It's a stone cart. Like, imagine I guess when I say it's not attached to the wall like a frame or a picture, it's carved out of the wall. I mean, I guess if she had prepared stone shape for the day, then maybe. But it's probably easier and more efficient to just have Rylar purple beamer it.
I checked twice.
Okay. So, but Rylar says, so maybe Miss Fern should I don't know. Can you inspect the tree without
I could talk to it without touching it.
Oh.
You know.
You feel comfortable talking to the tree?
Huh?
You feel comfortable talking to the tree? I know this area you're not feeling very comfortable.
I would prefer not to talk to the tree because I feel like it's not going to be a fun experience. But I'll do it though. I'm pretty sure that talking to this tree is probably going to be the best tree to talk to. But if it doesn't respond or if it's no good, then I can just try to talk to another tree closer.
Well, when you cast its spell, it's not just one. Like, you can go talk to one tree and then another, right?
Yeah,
you don't have to
I just have to do it within 10 minutes.
Okay, well, what do you guys think? Maybe she should talk to that tree over there first, and then talk to the big tree. It's up to you guys, though.
I want to try to talk to the big one first. And if it doesn't work, then I'll move on.
Whatever you think is best.
Okay.
What do you think, Lorkris? I need reassurance.
I mean, whether we like it or not, we'll have to figure out what is ailing the tree. And if it can communicate, it might let us know what needs to be fixed. If it can't communicate or won't communicate, we will do what we can, and we may make a mistake, we may not, but we will try something. So, if you don't talk to the tree, we may harm it more. Not intentionally, but we have to try.
I said I wanted reassurance. But I'll talk to the tree.
All right. So, you pull out your staff and cast Speak with Animals? Speak with Plants?
Sorry, before that.
Oh.
Lorkris recognizes that she's asked for reassurance, really, and Lorkris just
Oh,
gave her
I didn't hear
answer
that. I'm sorry.
rather
Go
than-
ahead. Yeah.
No, you're good. And Lorkris is like, you've got a point. So Lorkris is gonna use his lay on hands pool and give Fern 5 HP. And like get down, get close, like eye level, and be like, you got this.
You should have said that the first time before you made me extra worried.
Well, I'm saying it now.
Thank you, Lorkris. So I'm gonna go sit in front of the tree.
Okay.
I'm going to pull out my staff. And I'm going to get as close as possible to the tree without touching it.
Right, I have you there because the roots kind of... it's big enough that these roots that I've drawn, you would actually have to crawl or climb up on top of to even touch the face. So I have you basically crouched in front of the root right here.
So, like, literally as close as possible. And then, she's gonna have her staff out. And she's going to sit down.
Mm-hmm.
Crisscross applesauce. And she's just gonna have her hands like this. And her head in her hands. And then, she's going to, she's going to cast Speak with Plants.
Okay. The way I envision the spell, the way it works is this is just the way I envision it. You don't when you've cast Speak with Plants, it's not like there's suddenly you hear all the conversations going on between the plants. You have to focus on the specific plant that you want to communicate with, and you can only pretty much have a conversation one at a time with one at a time. And so you find it strange because, all right, so first you cast Speak with Plants. Do you say anything? As soon as you cast Speak with Plants and focus on the big tree, it's just dead silent. I mean, usually you have to initiate the conversation, so.
Hello, tree. My name is Fern. You seem sick. Are you okay?
There's no response. It's just quiet. You kind of get the sense that there's a sense of unease, but you're not sure where. Of course, you've had a sense of unease since you've been in this place, right? But it's like you can't put your finger on it, but you feel like you need to literally put your finger on it to actually try and speak with it. So it's up to you if you decide you want to do that or not.
She's just gonna reach out to Miss Ray first. Grab Miss Ray.
Fern, is everything okay? What's the tree saying?
And then she's gonna reach out and touch the root. Like, she literally has Miss Ray's hand like this on her can I see her hand? Like this. Just like this.
Okay.
And then she
You let her?
touches the tree.
I mean, if she's doing it at the same time, I'm not.
You're not going to pull your hand
Yeah.
away. Yeah. Okay. So as soon as you touch the tree with the intent of communicating with it, all you hear immediately as soon as you touch it is this kind of sound of So it's this almost like I can't do it very well, but it's like the
Zombies from Walking Dead?
no, more like the girl from The Grudge, but it's not a girl's voice. Just think, it just sounds. Honestly, it sounds like just someone in unending pain. And there's nothing legible about it other than just this. I guess the Grudge one would be. I don't know, I can't do it very well, but.
Tell me how to help.
You get the sense that it's like, I mean, the sound coming from it is incomprehensible, and it, you know, it's just, you're not even sure if you are being understood at all. It's like, honestly, I'm kind of overdrawing the sound. It's just more of a, it's a, you get this feeling of emptiness, of, yeah, just this terrible feeling. I'm gonna actually have you roll a will save too. Wisdom save, sorry.
Reminds me of a death rattle.
All right. It wouldn't have had any like really profound effect, but it would have like there could have been an effect from it, and kind of a heightened emotional impact, which would have been similar to like a level of exhaustion or something. But you resisted it. But it definitely, you felt the wave, almost like it's suffering. And suffering was kind of almost transferring to you, not in a magical, mystical way, just your own empathy, you know? And you actually had to purposely like pull back because it was just so terrible. And
she stands up really quick
mm-hmm.
and goes over to the closest tree.
This one over here?
Yeah.
Are you dragging me with you?
Oh, she's dropped your hand
Okay.
by this point.
All right.
And she just goes up to the tree and just grabs the tree like she grabs Miss Ray's face.
Okay.
And just be like, hello tree, I'm Fern. Nice to meet you. How do we help this guy over here? What is happening?
The sound that you hear from it is kind of weird and faint. It's almost like you're imagining the sound of tree sap dripping. It's doesn't have any response. It's just, but you can't hear that because it's just almost as if after having communicated with this, it's not like it's suffering as bad as this thing is, but it seems like it's just like its mind is gone. The best way I can describe it now that you've experienced it from both trees, it's like, this is a bit dark, guys, so hang in there. But it's like a mental patient or a person with extreme Alzheimer's. The mind is just gone. And this one is like that, but also with the suffering added on. So in other words, and then if you kind of suspect that any of the trees within this range in here that you go talk to, I mean, you can test it if you want, but you kind of suspect that they're all going to be like that. Just empty of mind.
None of them are gonna talk to me because, they can't right now.
What you mean they can't, Miss Fern?
I think it has to do with the suffering of with like the stupid things, the magic.
Hmm.
It's just not gonna work right now. We have to cure them to talk to them.
Would that even work?
I don't know.
Well, we
That
probably
won't stop us from trying.
yeah, we probably should do it anyway, right? It's really, I mean, that's kind of what we're here for.
Are you gonna do something similar to what you did in that other grove, Fern?
What?
Yes, Lorkris?
Rylar, you said that there's two kinds of magics happening.
Well,
Right.
yeah, over
One is-
there in that route, there's like a, it's like a, I can't explain it. It looks like some sort of, I mean, like a root within a root, or like a
Okay.
splinter in the root. Isn't that
Out
what it
of
looked like to you, Miss Ray?
Out of curiosity, does the
The magics that are in that splinter are like, they remind me of like both a curse and a disease.
does do these symbols correlate to one or both of those magics? Do they give off the same or similar? I would look, but I don't have the spell.
I think, honestly, I think that the carvings in the stone are kind of like maybe they were part of a ritual that bound the magic here. I know that sounded very big-brained, but
You're doing good, Rylar.
it is.
You're
Okay.
learning lots.
I mean, random thought, Rylar. Do these, when you see these magics, do they have colors?
Yeah, kind of. Well, no, they're. It's not. They don't have colors, and you can answer this too. I mean, can't your character cast detect magic?
He can, but he doesn't
can.
have it prepped.
Oh,
I don't have it prepared.
Right.
But also, knowing that Rylar views things differently, I'm wondering
I see
if
your point.
Rylar views it or can associate with color so
Right.
that Lorkris can then have an easier time conveying his concept.
right. Rylar says, no, it's not really like different colors. It's more like different intensities and different, like. I mean, it's when you see, it's different brightnesses, and like some magics have like fancy sparkles, and some magics have like waves, and so and some magics just kind of like hover or glow, like an enchantment is like a hover or glow, and then so I think it's like a curse and a disease. And like even if we take out this tablet thingy, I think we got to deal with that splinter, that root splinter or whatever it is, that dark root down there in the water.
Like this root is creating a canal within the root.
Well, it's not that big, right, Miss Ray? And you can confirm that it's basically it's like this long, and that it's just kind of like a giant splinter in the center of it. I think.
Underwater?
Yeah, it's under the water.
Well,
Does it look really deep? Like, we need to wait till tomorrow, and I could cast, water breathing. Do you think it's that deep?
What do you guys think? I guess you should inspect it better. So you guys
I
go
can't see
over.
the magic.
Do what?
I can't see the magic.
Yeah, neither can I.
No, I meant. I thought you wanted to know how deep the water is. You want to know how deep where the root. Well, but like to get over there, we're gonna have to go through the deep part, which is like right there. I don't know how deep it is.
It's probably a better thing for tomorrow when we can be a bit more prepared. However, we could probably take care of this abomination, pointing at the runes. We could deal with that now.
To cast water walking tomorrow.
So, Rylar,
Uh-huh.
are you down to
Deface this defilement?
I will. Yeah, sure. So our plan is tomorrow. We're gonna do what then?
Idea. I don't know. We haven't really had the chance to talk about it.
Yeah. So before I do anything, Miss Ray, don't you think it's wise that we come up with a plan before I just go beating up on that stone thing?
Yes, we probably should come up with a plan.
Let you roll an arcane knowledge check. Because you're, thinking about all this actively.
30.
Dang. So you suspect because of the intensity of the magic. He's right. The whatever that shard is that's in the root, it is a mixture of both a curse and a magical disease, right? So you're going to need to cast probably to get rid of it. You're going to need to probably. This is what because you rolled so well. You suspect to really root out the infection. You're gonna.
I already made a root canal joke.
I know, right? You're going to have to probably chop the shard out of the root, and once you've exposed it, you're going to have to cast remove curse and remove disease on it, and then you think it's probably better to disenchant the stone after you guys have done that first. And you also suspect that you probably want to cast those two spells like simultaneously on this thing. It's that powerful of a magic, whatever it is.
So remove curse and remove disease at the same time?
Yep.
And I'm looking at Lorkris and Fern going, either one of you prep the either spell for the day?
Not for the day.
Okay. And you prep the spell for tomorrow?
Yes.
So are we talking about like greater restoration or something?
Oh yeah, this is 5th edition.
Oh yeah, this is 5th ed, yeah. Greater Restoration is the one that removes disease?
3.5, there is a remove curse and remove disease that are separate spells.
Yeah. I have access to remove curse. Interestingly enough, I have currently prepared bestow curse. It's just a
Let me look
leftover
at
from the
restoration.
Guild Lock games.
Right, good luck games. What'd you say for Druid? You're cutting out what?
I'm pretty sure you're talking about greater restoration.
So regular restoration doesn't cure disease. It's just greater restoration.
I think lesser resto will actually remove the poison condition.
That's poison, not disease. That's a different thing.
Yeah.
So there is no restoration in 5th ed. It's either lesser or greater.
Great. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it says specs, one effect that charm to petrify the target, one curse including target's attunement to a cursed magic item, Any reduction of one of the target's ability scores, and one effect reducing the target's maximum hit point.
All right.
That's greater restoration.
So, and there is no just restoration in 5th Ed?
No.
Okay, all right. So then the answer is what?
Yeah, she'd have to use greater, lesser restoration. Won't affect curses.
All right. So then basically she would do greater restoration on it at the same time that he's doing remove curse?
So greater restoration,
Also removes curses.
it removes curses. It doesn't say anything about removing disease.
Oh, is there anything in 5th Ed that... Let me look.
Not in my spell list.
Yeah.
Otherwise I have regenerate.
Yeah, the only remove spell is remove curse. Unless it's in a different book that says it's a PHB.
Oh, apparently lesser restoration is the one that can end one disease afflicting a target.
Really?
Oh. Touch a creature and can end either one disease or one condition. Condition can be blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah. I totally overlooked that.
Paired.
So you have lesser restoration prepared?
Yeah.
But he doesn't have remove.
And greater restoration.
But he doesn't have either one of those prepared right now, right? Yeah, and that's the thing.
But we have Rylar's ring.
What does this ring have to do with it?
Well, and I could do. Oh, never mind, because you have to cure. You need to cure curse or whatever.
Yeah. We need...
Never mind.
Yeah.
We still would have to wait till tomorrow.
I mean, unless you want to put a lesser restoration into the ring and then you cast greater restoration?
We could do that. Do you think that would work?
Because lesser restoration gets the disease and greater restoration gets the curse, right?
I would like to mention that though the likelihood that we're probably going to have to fight something else as this happens, we know at least one of those skeletons or undead thing went over the waterfall. It may come back. If we do anything, I would rather be at a bit more prepared.
You have a
tomorrow.
point. I am still hurting.
You're looking a little rough there.
Do we
And
want
he's
to...
gonna be like, hi, like you look a little rough. Give you 10. Lay on hands.
Do we want to camp in here? Do we want to go camp outside and check out and see what happened to those skellies?
Outside.
I'm at 44 hit points.
Okay. So,
You're almost caught up to me.
what was that, Druid?
You said I'm
you're-
almost caught up to her.
Yeah.
I mean, Lorkris is fine.
Yeah. And actually, Rylar's down pretty decent chunk too. So, yeah. I mean, I think
Yeah.
Rylar says, so we're gonna go rest up and heal up and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then pick
Just to be
different.
prepared.
Okay.
And also, you never know. We may have to do this more than one time, and I'm a little spent. So if we have to cast this more than one time, and then something happens, we have 0 resources. So I'd rather give ourselves more resources.
Yeah, so I could prepare, like, water breathing and walk on water. And
Why would we-
I don't know, you never know.
And imagine you want me to dig out this splinter.
You're so strong. You're strong. Of course. Stronger than me.
Something I would like to mention when it comes to that, just a thought. If this thing is cursed as we suspect it may be, despite trying to remove it or break the bond of the curse, it doesn't quite destroy the curse in itself. Right? It only severs the bond. But to remove it, that means it must be touched.
That's why we have spells.
So,
Add a character, what?
right, so the remove curse doesn't actually destroy curses. It severs the attunement, right? But Lorkris has no idea what this is like, so his proposition is that that object must be touched to be removed from the space, and who knows what's going to happen when we touch it.
And remove curse is a touch spell.
I see. What about Greater Restoration?
Also a touch spell.
They're both touch spells. Okay. Well, and that's what your character or you indicated was that you can chop open. You need to basically chop it open and expose it, and then hit it with these two spells.
Mm-hmm. But I'm just saying.
It will be fine. We're only gonna get a little bit hurt.
Thanks for the reassurance.
Well, she looked
Yeah,
like
it felt great, huh?
Miss Ray's already super hurt, and I'm kind of beat up too. And maybe we should all go use our heal spells up before we rest tonight.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys gonna make your way out, and so you guys make your way out and carefully navigate the slippery stone carving down to the shore of the pond where the waterfalls spill into. Cautiously with your weapons out, looking for these skeleton things. And and Rylar says, "Oh wow! Look, I see. I mean, my magic. Some of their items are magical. Oh, I think the skeletons are down at the bottom there. So it's. Remember, I told you it's murky, gross, brackish water, right? Mm-hmm. But there's still a waterfall flowing into it, and it's yucky water too. But there's enough splashage that it's He's like, I'm not sure, but I think I see the glowing. I should have probably looked at the gear of those other two ones up there. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all right, Rylar. It's all right. So you see magic items?
We gotta get their poppers too still, I guess, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll collect their poppers once we're done doing what we need to in this area.
The magic items, they're not moving. They're just lying down there. By the way, I'm going to slightly retcon. As you guys were walking by to go out, you do notice that all of those worms have basically kind of disintegrated into a kind of a liquidy mush pool around the skeletons.
Gotcha. Okay.
And go ahead.
You want me to go in the water?
Ryder's like, no, I'll go. He goes over and bends over and he sticks his head in the water after he takes his helmet off. And he's like, oh, that's gross. Oh. I couldn't see anything because it was still too yucky and dark.
Yes, we'll retrieve their stuff a little later. Don't stick your head in the water anymore, Rylar.
Well, I was just checking to see if they was like moving. You know, we don't want to be ambushed by them when we're sleeping.
Why we have a watch.
But yeah, like you know, I guess technically you would have spent some time and your detect magic probably would have run out.
Oh yeah.
But You suspect, though, that maybe whatever was kind of holding those pseudo-undead skeleton things together was kind of intrinsic to this space. As soon as they were washed out into that pond, they just kind of were no longer animated in the... That's just kind of what you suspect. You don't know for sure, so you're gonna probably, obviously, like you said, keep the vigil, but...
I'm going to cast Mass Cure Wounds at 7th level. Because I can. And everybody.
Wow. Wait, Rylar says, wait a minute. Oh. Out of character. Isn't there a song that it can boost healing? Or am I thinking 3.5?
Song of Rest. Wait, no. I know that's in... Let's see. I think I have that. Yeah, Song of Rest. Use soothing music to help revitalize your wounded allies during a short rest. You or any friendly creature who can hear your performance regain hit points at the end of a short rest by spending 1 or more hit die. Each of those creatures gains an extra, let's see, I'm 13th level, an extra 1d12.
Oh. So then...
That's if you're using your hit die.
It's only for the rest, and you're using hit die. So whatever her heal doesn't get.
Yeah.
All right. What are you down by there, Lorkris?
I'm at 98 out of 136.
Oh, I mean...
Yeah. I'm pretty good.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I think I
more
got
than
hit
anything,
the most. I was down to 20 out of 109.
I'm missing a fair bit of spell slots. That's my biggest issue.
How much did you get us for there, Fern?
He's
Did you say
again.
27?
27.
27.
Thank you. We need to solve that. This is our 51st episode and we haven't solved that. We need to play around with that. I guess this coming Friday it'll be some TTRPG, but it'll also be a little bit of tech talk on Tuesday on Friday.
Tech Talk Tuesday on Thursday.
Right.
Now on Friday.
Right. Tech talk on Tuesday, on Thursday, now on Friday. Yep. All right. So 27. That's still a long way. But I guess you guys can use with your Song of Rest and hit die.
Yes, everybody would get an additional d12 if you use hit die. Remember, you can use up to half your hit die.
Wait, are we just taking a short rest?
No, I thought you guys were going to rest overnight because it was already pretty late from your traveling anyway, right? So before we go, all right, so let's discuss this though. You're obviously down in the outside grotto. Where do you, go ahead.
Just out of curiosity, I mean, if we're planning on doing a long rest before we do anything so we can prep spells, why are we wasting resources for healing? Like,
because remember, using hit dice up,
Because you don't regain all of your hit points overnight.
right?
Yeah.
Unless you use enough hit die. And I think
You do get a certain amount of hit die back after a rest.
yeah, I think the issue is that you don't get all of your hit die back after a long rest. I could be misremembering that. Long rest is a period of extended downtime, at least 8 hours, blah, 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 blah. A character regains all lost hit. Oh, at the end of a long rest, a character regains all lost hit points. Wow, I forgot about that. The character also regains spent hit dice up to a number of dice equal to half the character's total number of them. So the spent hit dice, I guess, are only for short rests. Yeah, you're absolutely right, I guess. A character can't benefit from more than one long rest in a 24-hour period. And a character must have at least one hit point at the start of the rest to gain its benefits. All right.
Different from 3.5.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. My bad.
No, it's okay. I was like, I mean, it would make. I feel like it made sense if we were gonna do a short rest, where it's like, okay, well, we need to. But if we were redoing spells, like it's a long rest, so why?
No, yeah, absolutely. You're right. Like I completely forgot they changed that from 3.5 to 5th ed, and it's been so long since we've actually been in a situation where you guys needed to use a long rest to actually get hit points back. But all right.
Okay, so
without an extended amount of time to rest afterwards, that we don't have to think about it.
So 2 things though. So first, I want you guys to decide where you want to camp, and 2, when we camp, we're gonna role play this new revelation, because we're going to want to talk about it. So, first off, where are we camping?
Someplace clean?
Yeah.
But
So
not too far from the waterfall?
Water.
What'd you say, Fern?
Away from the water.
Okay.
So the shoreline of this grotto isn't very big. Remember how I told you that pretty much all of the ground around the water has become just like there's no grass or plant life around it, right? Except for the root, right? The giant root that comes out of it and goes down the river, right? It's almost as if the plants have kind of receded from that area and the trees kind of surround it. And if you remember correctly, the drop off is pretty steep going back the way you came. One place you haven't checked out is in the cliff face above the waterfall, where you saw it from inside the cave, where the water obviously comes into that giant crack and creates that pool down there and everything. But you haven't been up there. You do notice that behind where the steps have been carved to go up to the landing behind the waterfall and go into the cave, that next to that, behind that, is kind of a rocky cliff face. Like it's kind of it would be a mixture of hiking and climbing, but you could potentially climb up to that landing up there if you wanted to check it out. Other than that, the trees that surround it are it's a thicket, and they're there's no kind of opening unless you guys want to start going off in one direction to search for a good spot. Because it's, the trees and brush have just kind of built up over time around this area, kind of giving it a natural shielding.
Shall we go up or back down? I'm looking at
I want
the
to
team.
go up.
Okay. Lorkris?
Sure.
Rylar?
Yeah, I guess I could do that.
Okay. We're going up.
So, here, everybody, before you start climbing, let me practice with I don't get to use it very often, and I know you have it too, Lorkris, but I'm gonna, and probably Miss Fern, but I got the guidance. You probably got the two. We probably all got it. I don't know.
Yes.
I don't.
You don't. And neither does Lorkris. Okay. Well, here, like, you get Miss Fern, and I'll get Mr. Lorkris, and then you get me, and I'll get you.
Okay.
Okay. So.
Guys get a guidance.
That's what a D6?
And it's a D4.
Oh, it's a D4 added
D4.
to the check. All right. So you guys make your way up. First, making your way up those steps again. Roll the dexterity check.
With the
athletics?
D4?
No. Oh yeah, no. I guess he did give guidance, so sure. He's gonna have to give it again though. So.
So wait, are we doing? So I get to use my acrobatics, right?
Yeah. If your acrobatics are better, for sure.
Yeah, athletics is the climbing stat.
With the D4,
Yeah.
I got 21.
This isn't, by the way, this isn't climbing yet. This is just getting up the steps again to the point where you can actually start climbing. You know, it's a little bit of a hike.
Oh, so this is a dexterity check, not a acrobatics?
No, it isn't acrobatics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And what would climb check be in this?
Athletics is climbing.
Okay. Wow. All right.
I suck at athletics.
Yeah. Probably not as bad as Rylar. All right.
+1.
I have 0.
I only have the +1 because of the look stone.
Oh. Uh-oh. All right. So did you guys make it up the steps?
I got a 13.
Oh, I got the 21.
And you got 13? All right. Remember I told you guys last week the DC is 10 to get up the steps. Right.
I mean,
You probably don't even fail.
yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Because remember, you can't critically fail a skill check. So, I mean, what's your minimum on athletics?
12
Yeah. So you
plus
can't fail.
1, so that would
Right.
it'd be 13 if I rolled in that one.
Right. So the climb will be a different check with a different DC. It's a little bit tougher. But before you guys even get to the point of the climb, Rylar slips on the steps, and luckily he slips so early, because I literally rolled a 1. He slips so early that he doesn't even make it up the steps.
Rylar, are you okay?
He's at the very bottom and slipped.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's like, I'll try again. I'll get up there. Oh, wow. I got a natural 20. Wait, he didn't. I got a natural 20. So, yeah, he makes it to the top of the steps now from a 1 to a 20. That's funny. All right, who's going first? You guys dole out the guidances again for the climb.
I'll probably go first.
Okay.
And kind of with the intent of, like, even though I know it's slippery and everything, like, finding the proper foothold. So the intent is to follow where I went.
Right.
Follow my path.
Right. So it's about 75 feet, by the way, but I'm only making you roll once because there are places where it's a climb and places where you're just kind of standing and walking, you know, and hiking. So anyway, go ahead. You're about to say.
Oh, that what your description just completely changed my plan.
Oh.
Because it was just straight climb up. I didn't think it was that high. 75 feet is pretty high. Because we only have 50 foot of rope. It's like we could, Lorkris could climb up first, send the rope down, and then we could use it assisted. But
that is possible because if you get halfway between, like, after the first 25 feet or so, there is a smaller kind of landing where one person can stand. So, no.
I mean, I take it we have more than 50 feet of rope.
That's true too.
Yeah.
We can always just tie 2 together. I mean, that's a solid plan to give you guys. I don't know if that would give you guys like an advantage on climbing.
It would, but there's also the option of, if you want to, you know, tie it around everybody and you know,
just pull them up.
Yeah, because you have that. I mean, that you might as well take advantage of the fact that you're a Goliath.
Yeah.
yeah, because
So Lorkris will just climb up there and be like, you know what? I can just pull you guys up.
All right, so then no more rolls.
yeah, because like I have a
I'll
+1 in
roll the
athletics.
Yeah, I'll roll the climb up because I mean it is 75 feet.
Yeah, well, you're gonna have to roll a 2 or less to fail, because the DC is a 15. So.
It'd be 31.
Yeah. All right. So he scales it like Spider-Man, and then you tie one end of the 100-foot rope that you've made to, you know, you anchor it around By the way, when you get up there to the top, you do see it's kind of, you're surprised because at the top of this cliff face, it's a pretty large plateau. Before, you know, it's kind of hard to see from the angle down below, but it's a pretty large plateau where you see there's a, you know, another kind of waterfall in the distance that flows down into that giant crack, that crevice, and then of course you see the mountain going up and into the distance with trees but yeah, this plateau will be a perfect place to camp. It's a gorgeous view. You're like, wow, you guys are watching him, you're ready to climb up, and he's just kind of standing there marveling at the beautiful view. It kind of reminds you of some of your places back home a little bit. But of course, standing next to that giant crevice with the water pouring into it, and you almost feel like it'll be a nice relaxing place. And of course, from that point on, it seems like all the water and the trees and there's grass and plants and even some flowers. It's beautiful nature again. So you know, inside you're thinking, this will be a nice place for Fern to rest. Way better than we were at. So
yeah, Lorkris will say out loud, but not loud enough for everyone else to hear. Huh? I guess the plateau is really some of the highest form of flattery. And then. No one will be able to appreciate Lorkris's jokes. And I think he does it on purpose. He's like, I'm not gonna let this veneer crack. And then, yep.
All right, so you easily pull everybody up. Of course, Fern and Miss Ray do it elegantly, you know, holding onto the rope but you know, not Rylar. He ties it around his waist, and he's ready to go. He says, "I'm ready to go." And you know, as you're pulling him up, you know, like it's a little bit more awkward than the girls. Obviously, he's also heavier because of his armor, and he's a little bit heavier. But and you look down and you realize he's just literally like. He tied around his waist. He's just dragging him up.
I imagine he's looking up just like.
Yep.
Just like giggling the whole way.
I would have been the last one to go up because I just want to make sure that Rylar was tying the rope around him correctly.
Oh, well, okay then. That changes. Well, you get to witness this then.
Yeah, and I'm just like...
He weighs down at you. All right, so you get everybody up, and yeah, you guys look around and see the sun going down, and it's finally, you know, that you know, blue haze of dusk gives way to night, and it's a beautiful area. You're happy that you guys came up to this little mini plains, this little plateau right on the top of above this, and you know, Miss Fern is like, oh, this is what this place is supposed to be like, right? And it's just literally right before it, and so.
Fern, would you like to talk to the plant life here and see if they know what's going on?
Is there plant life? I don't remember you saying.
Yeah, there's grass and bushes and flowers and trees.
Oh, to go to a tree.
Okay. So you go talk to a nearest tree. What do you say?
Oh, I'm going to sit in front of it and make a face.
Okay.
And I'm going to make it a happy face.
Okay.
And I'm gonna make it like look like a female version of Jocko's face. No, I'm gonna make it look like Daxon instead.
Okay. I mean, it's going to be your obviously moss interpretation of Daxon, but okay, sure.
Yeah.
Moss and bark movement and stuff. Yes, I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's gonna have a smile.
Okay.
So I had to make a note.
Mm-hmm. So she doesn't actually have to ask them if they're okay with it, because they sense, you know, when the trees are in their right mind, they sense that what she's doing for them is is a beautiful thing, not and isn't painful to them, and she's not hurting them. So.
Well, she talks about like she talks them through, like, okay, I'm just gonna make you a face so it's easier for me to talk to you when I cast my spell. So just so you know.
Gotcha.
And I'm gonna put Daxon's face on here. Except I'm gonna add a smile because Daxon doesn't really smile. He is winked at me before though. So I like to think that he pretends like he's mean, but he's really just a big soft teddy bear like Lorkris. And that's the yeah. And then I'm going to sit down.
Okay.
Before I cast a spell.
Okay.
Ray, what do you think I should ask?
Ask the tree about this area, and then ask the tree if it senses anything different, and maybe if they've seen other humanoids in this area. We'll start with that.
Are you writing it down? Oh, okay. What are you doing over there, Fate? But it looks, from our point of view, you guys are just like looking down.
I'm going over my spells to find things that are going to be helpful for tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Roger that. Gotcha. Cool.
And this is reflected by Lorkris. While Fern is doing all that, Lorkris is taking in the vista and reflecting on what is to happen tomorrow.
Gotcha. Fern?
Okay. I'm going to cast Speak with Plants for the last time that I can today.
Okay. What do you say?
3. My name is Fern.
Hello, my name is Fern.
Okay. What is going on down below with the big tree down there?
I do not know. The big tree has been gone for a long time. Countless rotations of countless movements of the sun, countless seasons.
I was just down there.
Hmm?
And the big tree is still there.
Really?
He's sick though.
Oh, really? We thought he died long ago.
Before, when he died,
Fern, I just thought of another question. Can you ask the tree if the big tree down below plays a very important part to the... What's the word I'm looking for?
Ecosystem?
Yeah, the ecosystem. Here.
So that big tree? Was he like super important to like this area?
Yes, long ago he was the great old one, because he grew there in the focus.
The what?
You have different name for it, maybe?
Is it the focus?
Yes, like the leaf vein? Root? what's the word you? It's been so long since I've spoken with humanoids. We call it the Earth vein.
Oh, ley line.
Oh, that, yes, that's probably it.
It's the magical, like, that connects to a bunch of other super cool magical places, right?
Yes.
Before you thought that the big tree died, did anything crazy happen? Like, did evil or did, like, humanoids come here and mess it up?
There have been humanoids who've traveled from here. They rarely come back this way, but only a few times. And that was only more recently.
They only traveled from here? Like, did they, like, magically appear out of nowhere? Did they come over from over the mountains?
Well, I don't know. I can't quite tell from here. But you want me to talk with some of the other trees down in the grove?
Yeah, that would be cool.
Well, give me a few minutes and I will. Do you have other questions?
You said that there was more humanoids here, more recent.
It's only
how-
recent, yes. Those. When you say humanoids, you mean bipedal creatures like you?
Yeah.
Well, do you mean the monsters kind? Or do you mean the elf peoples that were here thousands and thousands and thousands of cycles of the sun ago? And thousands of seasons ago? Because only recently have the monstrous humanoids been here. But eons ago, I remember the elf peoples.
I'd actually much rather talk about the elf people. Did they look like me?
I suppose.
Or they're tiny like me?
Most of them.
Do you know where they went?
They disappeared around the same time that the great tree of the node died. Thousands of seasons ago. I think that word is right, thousands. Numbers aren't something that we trees do much with.
Yeah, the fact that you even know what a number is very, very impressive. So, you are obviously like very versed in talking to humanoids, which I think is very, very cool.
I remember a few seasons ago there was another friendly person who came to visit us here. He was a strange but delightful fellow.
I know who you're talking about. I've met him too. He didn't tell me what was going to happen when I got here, though.
Well, I don't think he knew much.
No, but you don't have to know much to know that when you go into the space downstairs, that something was very, very, very wrong.
Oh wait, I totally screwed up. Hang on a sec. I have to retcon that. Yeah, sorry. I've had a lot of stuff rolling around in my head. I apologize. Your DM has failed you.
Okay. You did not fail me.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. In his conversation, God, this is so embarrassing. In his conversation, this tree explained and kind of echoed what the Archdruid had told you, and that was that. Okay, let me back up a second. The dying. The dying of the tree below only happened a few years ago. The elves that used to be around here was thousands of years ago. But yeah, the humanoids and the dying of the tree kind of coincided. The humanoids started first. They started popping up occasionally first, and this was actually after the Archdruid had visited here. It was when the humanoids started coming out from time to time, and then occasionally they would go back into the cave and not come back through. I mean, they would go in, they would go out and come back in. Is how he described it. They go into the cave or they come out of the cave, right? So the tree is a little confused about it because it's hard for it to relate what its experience is since it doesn't see everything, right? But or perceive is a better word since they don't actually see. But it was only a few years ago that the big tree and the trees in the grotto died, and the plant life receded from that area, and they kind of avoid it, is what it tells you. And now we can continue role playing. Thank you for your patience and understanding.
Of course. So I tell everything to Miss Ray and Lorkris if Lorkris is close or not. Do you guys have any questions that I should ask now that I told you everything that the tree told me?
Yeah, well, Lorkris continues to just like stare, 1,000-yard stare off onto the vista. Ask the tree if it is aware of the last time the Druid showed up. If this tree was sick before the Druid showed up or after the Druid showed up.
The big tree downstairs, did it die before or after that Druid showed up here?
About a year after is when it vanished from us.
Fern? Ask the tree if its roots connect down into the area below, or if it can communicate with trees further out from here, like some of the other trees have been doing.
So, can you communicate with the trees that are in that? Or do you think they're dead because you can't communicate with them?
I'm not sure I understand. If you're asking me, you asked about the big tree, but then the other trees in the space below, we haven't communicated with them in some time. This about the same amount of time, not quite the same amount of time. Some of them died out later, and then it seemed to have gotten kind of worse and spread down into the grotto area. I still have friends down there in the grotto area, but they said that a lot of plants and grass and trees around the pond have died, and they kind of avoid that giant dark root that runs down the river. And that was all after that was after the big tree died, which was, and it kind of happened over many years. Is that root grew down the river.
Anything else, you guys?
I can't think of anything else right now. Rylar, do you have any questions for the tree?
You said that the humanoids will come out of the cave and go into the cave. Did the elves do that too?
Did the elves go in and out of the cave like that too? Where they would either just go in or just come out?
Oh, you mean the ones from thousands of seasons ago?
Yeah.
Yes, they wandered these lands frequently, and they would come in and out of that cave, yes.
Thank you. If you ever talk to any trees that are really far south, tell them that Fern says hi. You'll know that they talked to me before, because I put faces on them just like you.
Thank you for making the beautiful face. You brightened an old tree's tree root.
I made your face look like somebody's face that I know who likes to pretend like he is a lot meaner than he really is. But in reality, he is just a really big softie that needs to take a vacation or something.
She's not wrong.
So Jackson's a workaholic, is what you're saying.
Jackson and his whole team.
That was the PG answer that
Right on. So
that's the tree actually breaking their fourth wall. Yeah, I know he does. How would you know that? I don't know.
I'm a tree and I know things.
Yeah. So, all right. So you're done talking to the tree. And just to clarify, just so everybody's on the same page, since I screwed up the description. Apparently, according to this tree, thousands of seasons ago, thousands upon thousands of seasons ago.
Which is impressive. He understands what thousands mean.
Yeah. Elves used to wander this land. And they would come out of the cave and go into the cave. In that order, the way he described it.
So tree teleportation is a thing.
Maybe. A few years ago, he explains, the Archdruid came and visited here. And about a year after that, the trees and plant life in this area, all the vegetation in this area, lost contact with the great tree in the cavern grove. And then slowly they started losing contact with all of the trees and plant life in that in there. And then it even spread it out, you know, as that root grew down the river, pretty much plant life along that, where that root is, and in the pond below, basically all died out as well. And around that same time, not too long after that, you know, humanoids, the monstrous bipedal creatures started coming out and in of that cave from time to time. Not super often, but occasionally. Right, just as you're about to wrap up, Rylar says, "Could you ask him if anyone, can you like ask him? Maybe it might be hard for a tree to describe what sort of people, but can he maybe tell us who the last people were that came through there? Came out of the cave?
Yeah. Okay, Tree, before I let you, rest or whatever. Do you think you could describe what the humanoids were that last came in or out of that cave?
It's hard for me to describe bipedal creatures, but I can try.
That would be very, 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 very awesome.
The last time that humanoid bipedal creatures came through here, they actually had come back from the last time they came out of the cave. And there was the same number of them as there are seasons.
4.
And two of them were bigger than your friend, and one of them had the head of a bull, and one of them was a little boy, and one of them...
We killed them and saved Guar. Okay, thank you.
Oh, okay.
I know who they are.
Oh.
Who they were.
Were.
Well, I'm glad I could help. The last one was strange. He was floating in the air.
Yeah. The big one.
Well, I guess he was about as big as the other ones, but yeah.
Of the 4.
Mm-hmm.
So there was one floating.
Mm-hmm.
Which was the Oni.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Fern.
Yeah?
You got a moment or two before your spell runs out?
Probably just a couple of minutes or less.
Okay, one last question. When the tree said that that things come out or they go in, have things come out that hadn't gone in? Like there's a tunnel or a passage through this space?
So when they go in, is there like magic that they use to travel to somewhere else? Or is it more like a tunnel or something?
We don't see inside of the cave because our roots have receded from there. We avoid it.
Yeah, but before you...
What you mean when the elves were there thousands upon thousands of seasons ago? They would come in and out of there.
Was it the cave or was it the magic?
Well, I don't know what you mean by magic. They would come through the great tree.
They would come through. Okay, you answered my question. Thank you. You're so smart.
Well,
for a
thank
tree.
you. That's wonderful of you to say.
You should try to teach other trees what numbers are.
Okay, I will.
Gonna have not the foggiest clue.
Just teach them by like rotations of the sun or something. Just be like, this is 1 rotation, 2 rotation, 3 rotation.
Okay.
And then you could teach them how to keep track of years by the seasons. Just start teaching other trees. You're so smart.
What's a year?
So after 4 seasons, that's 1 year.
Right. That's right. I knew that.
Did you?
I think so.
You are so smart. Okay, well, have fun teaching other trees how to count, okay? I really look forward to it spreading, so it's easier for me to ask about days and stuff. That would be very, very useful. So, thank you.
You're welcome. Make it a wonderful day out there.
Trying. It's not working too well. The downstairs made me sad.
Yes, it made us sad too.
We're trying to save the big tree.
It's not dead?
I don't think so. He just sounds like he is in pain. So we have to try to fix it.
Good luck.
Thank you. Get back.
All right. You guys want to take this moment to take a break before we get into the party role play about stuff? Discussing this stuff?
Sure.
All right. That would be this one.
Banana Tom. Please, please make Fern explain the phrase super cool to a tree. I'm good, Banana Tom, thank you. I just told the tree to teach other trees how to count. So,
Hi, Ezo.
Hello, Ezo.
We're on break. It's good to see you guys again. I gotta run to the bathroom, and I'm sure other folks do too. We'll grab some snackage, and appreciate you guys. We'll be back in just a bit. Thanks again for letting us have an intermission, guys. We're back again. We're gonna jump straight back into the action. And I know, I'm gonna get there. Intermission's over. We're gonna go chat dark. Appreciate you all joining us once again. We're gonna find out what the folks of the party think about what's been going on. So stick around, enjoy the show. You guys find yourself around the campfire, resting and ready to do the long rest to recuperate all your hit points. Poor bloody. Well, all of you are a little bit bloodied. I mean, you know, Lorkris said, I'm fine with 98 hit points, and that's true, but you still technically took, you know, like what, 30% of your hit points. So
You're still hurt.
yeah, it still hurt. So you're all sitting around, kind of bloodied and bruised and battered, both physically and emotionally, and tired. But the tree brightened things up a bit, and new knowledge, new understanding. Rylar asked, "So, what did the tree mean that there were elves thousands of seasons ago? Thousands upon thousands?"
I think what the tree was referring to was elves used to be part of this area many years ago. Like, very many years ago. So maybe they're related
like
to Fern in a way?
What did you say, Fern?
That's what it sounded like to me.
Fern, are you feeling better?
Yes and no. What were you gonna say, Lorkris?
I wonder if those elves coexisted with the those Goliaths back in the day.
Oh, maybe.
I mean, it's a long time ago. No.
Were you singing something? Come on, you gotta share it now, because it was all whispered. I couldn't hear it.
A really long ass time ago in a town called Kickapoo.
Oh God. Okay. All right. Never mind. That's right. That's right. So.
Kick your poo. Rylar, Emillynn, when you notice that splinter, is the best way to place it. Was it near the surface of the water, or is it down below?
It's down below. Hey, Miss Fern.
Yeah.
How come that tree had faith on it like the ones that you make?
I don't know.
When we can finally communicate with the big tree, Fern is going to ask. Right, Fern?
100%. First, I'm going to ask, are you okay now? And why do you have a face? Who put it there?
What do you think is wrong with it? Besides, obviously, that it's diseased and cursed. Well, okay, that's a lot, but like you said, when you talked to it, what did it say? You reacted weird and stuff.
You know, it couldn't hear me. And,
Are you sure? How do you know?
I don't. But it was just screaming in pain. And couldn't quite get the words out, I'm guessing. So, you know, I'm pretty sure if I was in that much pain, I would not know how to say words either. So, yeah.
I have
Do you
another
a plan?
question.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Miss Fern.
Oh, I was just going to ask if Lorkris had a plan. Or if I should prepare water walking and water breathing for tomorrow. Or tomorrow.
Definitely water breathing, Fern. Definitely prepare water breathing. If we are going to cut out that splinter, we got to go into the water.
I can say that I have, interestingly enough, had a reoccurring dream of a green sea. I know that doesn't apply to this, however, I want to part the sea, to cross it. I've had thoughts of that. I may be able to apply that same concept to part the waters.
Do you have a spell?
Perhaps.
What's it called?
Above table, I have access to control water, which allows me to part water in 100-foot.
He could do the Moses thing.
Yeah.
Totally did not make that reference on break.
Oh, I totally didn't. Yeah. Yeah. And in talking about it, Lorkris is definitely like recalling back to fighting the Chul and knowing that he was able to actually destroy sections of water, and he is wanting to mentally
combine that with like a parting concept. In that concept of in resting to prepare the spell control water. Like that's the intent of for him because he's never done it before, right? I've never prepared the spell, never cast it, so he's kind of pulling on those experiences and what he wants to do and to channel that kind of manifestation, being able to.
That seems like a super big brained idea. I like that because then you don't have to worry about swimming at all, right? If you can make it work right.
I still prepare water breathing just in case.
Is a very good idea. I don't know if I can hold it long.
Out of character, how long can you hold the spell?
10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
But it is concentration, so that theory is if something were to happen where if I somehow take damage and I fail my concentration check, then all of a sudden water comes crashing in. I can't breathe. So, yeah.
What do you think of our plan so far, Miss Ray?
So far, so good.
So, we plan on simultaneously trying to dispel this magic and remove the curse.
So, we are going to first remove the splinter, and once it's exposed, then you cast the Cure Curse or whatever, and I cast Greater Restoration, Lesser Restoration. I don't remember which one we picked.
So out of character, like, I think the plan was, like, technically speaking, we figured out that lesser restoration removes disease, right?
Yeah.
And greater restoration removes curses, right?
Yeah.
Like, it actually gets rid of the curse, whereas you said remove curse just suppresses it.
So Greater Restoration would do the same thing as Remove Curse.
Oh, okay. It just suppresses it and removes it?
It severs the attunement. So
I see.
It would no longer be... Yeah, but it does not destroy the curse in itself, which is where Lorkris is concerned that in handling it afterwards, that it may latch on to something. Is kind of his potential concern because he has not really dealt with this before. He kind of has some understanding, but has never actually done it. So he's like, I don't know.
So then, out of character, the plan is after he's chopped the root open to expose the splinter or shard, then you two will time it such that Fern casts. Lesser restoration, and you cast Remove Curse. Right.
Fern,
Yeah.
do you have access to the spell control water?
I would imagine you do.
I'm pretty sure. Level spell is that?
4th. Right?
Why, is it a druid spell as well? Did you just look it up?
4th level spell, yeah. I mean...
No.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
Okay. So, Lorkris, if you're a little wary about taking damage and your control water spell dissipates, we have Fern cast it. Because if you cut out the splinter, well...
So, you'd run into the same problem. If Fern gets damaged and potentially can't hold concentration, we run into the same issue. And I do not have the ability to cast water breathing.
Water breathing, I can... It's not the concentration spell.
Yeah, water breathing is not. It's a touch spell. It lasts for 24 hours.
Oh. I mean, I feel like the concern is valid, but I think we run into the same problem either way.
Yeah.
We are just going to have to be prepared.
The more that I think about it, the more that I'm like, you cut it out and you bring it back up on shore, you'd have to touch it, and that's not good. So my plan is going to go out the window right there.
Well, to be clear, you're the one that rolled the 30 on the arcane knowledge, right? Mm-hmm. You don't I'm gonna let Fern also roll a nature check on this one. Actually, both of you guys with the nature skills.
12.
She's a little discombobulated.
It's an episode for 20s for me, but not natural 20s. 20.
All right, so Lorkris and you pulling your knowledge of the things together of this situation, you don't think that you're going to actually have to necessarily remove the splinter, because it's like you believe that once you have disinfected it, so to speak, right, with the two spells, that more than likely, it doesn't require. I mean, I guess technically speaking, to cure the disease and to remove curse, you got to touch it, but.
Well, and now that I think about it even more, since control water is a concentration spell, as soon as you cast another spell, the concentration on control water goes away.
No. The remove curse is instantaneous. Not another concentration spell.
Yeah, it's not neither one, neither the restoration or the remove curse are concentration.
Now, if I were to ritually cast remove curse, then yeah, I would probably lose that concentration.
Rylar goes, ooh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe after we do this, we should also do that thing that you did at the Witch Grove.
Yeah, I plan on doing that already.
What?
I don't know why Lorkris is raising his hand. That's funny.
Fate is raising his hand.
Oh, okay.
Because Fate sometimes doesn't speak loud enough for other people to hear. So this is my I want to talk.
Yeah.
So that I can say something. Lorkris would probably also really do that. He's just like, can I just say something? I mean, if we are in a way concerned about the control water and potentially either one of us losing concentration on that. Rylar, do you think you can maintain concentration from up on the shore?
Well, yeah, that's not hard. That's easy. Why?
Okay. We might as well just put it in the ring tonight.
Do
You have that prep for today?
Today?
What level spell is it?
That's a good question. I do not have it prepared for today.
The 4.
Yeah.
4th level.
I mean, there's no reason why. I mean,
No, neither
do
one
it
of them
for-
has it prepped for today to put it in the ring for tomorrow.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So you'd have to
that
rest
was-
for 2 days to make this idea work.
However, doing it in the morning may not be a bad idea either. I mean, if we're going to be in the space, at least if we take damage.
You could still put it in the ring and then still have
That's what
Rylar
he's
use
saying.
it. Yeah. Oh, that's what you were saying.
Have Rylar cast it, so that way there's no potential loss of concentration while down there. If something were to happen, Rylar would be up out of that way, maintaining concentration for us.
True.
Because we are not going to deal with the defaced symbols until after we remove this affliction.
I could also just prepare a water walk. So like if for some reason concentration is lost, then we will automatically be risen to the top of the water.
It's true.
Even though I'm also going to have water breathing ready. Extra prepared!
Yep.
Gotta prepare for just about any situation.
Okay.
All right.
Go to bed. Yeah. Are we
So we're back to Miss Fern. So you don't think? What does anybody else think of the faces? Is it maybe that it's like Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? The
It is
faces?
very, very rude.
It is very,
weird.
very weird.
What do you all think?
As it looks like that face has been there for quite a long time.
You know, like, I think the weirdest part would be the fact that, like, I started doing it just randomly, but, you know.
I also find it very interesting that the trees refer to that one as the Great Old One as well.
I know, I heard that too. The Great Old One?
It's another goo in this world.
Oh no, that's not a real goo. That's just what they call him because he's a great tree and he's old. He's not my goo.
No, he's not your goo, but
Yes.
he is another goo.
We don't know what your goo looks like other than one of the eyes. I mean, maybe that face on the tree is a representation of your goo.
Nope. 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 Nope.
What were you going to say, Rylar?
I don't remember now.
I'm sorry, Rylar.
He says, it's gone.
Okay. So I'm going to prepare water walking and water breathing. You're going to prepare control water.
You're also.
Put control water.
You also need to prepare Lether Restoration, right?
Oh, I've had that prepared for a long time now.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then we're going to put the ring, or we're going to put control water in the ring. Rylar is going to, do the split the water. We're gonna walk down there. Lorkris and I are gonna do the things. And we're gonna have, water walking and water breathing already done. Just in case. What can go wrong? Nothing can go wrong. We prepared. We're so good.
Well, and and Miss Ray can play our music while we're doing it, so with it like we are inspired.
Mm-hmm. Sure can.
Yeah, you only that one song.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe my music will reach the tree.
Yep. All right. So, any other role playing you guys wanted to do during this camp time? No. All right. I'm gonna 4 watches, right?
Other than, yeah, I was just gonna say the only other thing is like during Lorkris' watch, he is just like playing out the scenario in his head in all the ways that he thinks it could go. Some, like the classic overthinking.
Yeah.
When you're dwelling on something.
Yeah.
But not in a negative way. He's just like this and then that or this, and he's just like pondering just all kinds of shit.
Gotcha. All right. 4 watches, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the new way that people.
Who's the last watch?
It's me and Fern.
You and Fern? Mm-hmm. During the last watch, an owl parks on the tree next to you guys, hooting and staring at you guys. You can see the glint of the firelight, lighting up its eyes. It's both comforting and spooky at the same time as it hoots at you guys.
Fern, you want to talk to it?
Can I talk? Can I talk to it? I'm going to cast Speak with Animals.
Well, it's a good 50 feet away from you. Well, yeah, about 50 feet away from you. You're gonna have to go walk over to it first.
Do you think that's a good idea? Should we just leave him alone? I don't think walking away from camp is a good idea. Even though I think it's a really good idea and we should totally go talk to it, but, you know.
Well, I mean, why else would it land there? Staring at us. Maybe it's from the Archdruid? Animal messenger?
I'm gonna go sneak over there.
You're gonna try and sneak over there?
Yeah.
Okay, roll me a stealth check.
I'm going to use my staff and cast the
I'm like watching her the whole time. What are you doing?
You're gonna cast what? With your staff?
Pass without the trace.
Okay.
Just sneak over there.
Okay. You sneak, you see her step off into the shadows and kind of almost vanish into the darkness. And then you kind of barely see as she eventually makes herself like right up next to the tree underneath the branch, right underneath the owl, as it's fixated on you and your fire. And then what, Fern? You've successfully stealthed up to the owl, which is a really hard thing to do to an owl.
What? Does it look suspicious?
It's just staring at the campfire and hooting occasionally.
Does it have anything tied to its foot?
Nope, it's gray.
I'm going to cast Speak with Animals.
Mm-hmm. So you're gonna cast Speak with Animals with the staff, right?
Yeah.
So you basically have to pop out of stealth mode. You pop out to cast a spell with your stick. The owl's eyes go wide and it looks at you and you scare the crap out of it. It poops and flies off.
Oh, that was a waste, but that's fine. Goodbye, owl. You're so beautiful.
All right, that was your eventful random encounter that happened during your watch. The morning comes, and you guys make your way back into the cave. And I assume you guys are gonna basically. So I'm gonna mark the spot where you gotta cut out the root with this little. Cut out the shard. This root goes from the tree into the water, disappears into the water. So you would basically have to. You're gonna have Rylar cast the spell.
Yeah. So I want to make sure that we do this right in terms of bookkeeping, because I imagine there's already a handful of spells in the ring, and there's not enough slots for a 4th level spell slot currently.
Well, I think you're absolutely right. Like it is full right now. It's got counter spell and heat mail. Yeah. And but he can discharge the spells without having to cast them.
Yeah. So I just want to make sure that way, like, even though I would love to keep the heat metal and counter spells in there, I want to make sure that they technically leave, so that we and I would imagine we do that during breakfast, early, get it out of the way. Everyone's got everything prepped.
Yeah, and I'm gonna ritual cast water breathing and
water walk.
And then ritual cast water walk when we're up here.
When you ritual cast, it doesn't use up a spell slot, right? Like you can.
That is correct.
So you could do it twice then, right? You could do it for both of you.
So, water walk.
Because it's 24 hours, isn't it? Or water
The
breathing.
water walk is for 1 hour. Water breathing is for 24 hours.
Right.
And I can do the water breathing up to 10 willing creatures. So
Water
all of
breathing.
us-
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, all of us can now breathe water for 24 hours because I'm gonna have it where everybody can breathe water.
Okay.
And then water walk.
Miss Ray?
Yes.
Oh, add a character. So your characters don't know detect magic at all?
No, we do. At least I do. I just didn't have it prepared.
So you
just
have it
never
prepared this
prepared.
time so you can know where to chop and to right? Yeah, okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So
it was one of those things where so many people had detect magic, it did not make sense to waste.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah.
Except for certain situations.
Yeah. Okay. So are we gonna are you gonna ritual cast your detect magic so you can see what's going on too? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So you guys all get into position. You filled the ring with a proper spell. You've You've ritual cast water breathing for everybody, and you're ritual casting water walking on both of you.
That water walking is also 10 people.
No, it's not.
You sure? Up to 10 willing creatures you can see within range gain this.
Oh, okay.
So, walk on water.
All right. So you ritual cast both. And you're sure both of those spells are ritual cast spells?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So then you don't waste any. You take 10 minutes each for 2 spells. 20 minutes. You take 10 minutes to cast detect magic. You take 10 minutes to ritual cast detect magic, probably, right? And and probably Fern too would want to as well, right? To be able to see the
But just to be fair, detect magic only lasts for what, 1 minute?
10 minutes.
Oh, that's right. I think it is 10 minutes.
Yep.
All right.
You're the one who said it just a second ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, concentrate.
Yeah,
It's 10 minutes. Yeah.
Oh, but it's a concentration spell.
I think we dropped that.
Right.
Being a concentration
Right.
spell.
I dropped that detect magic was a concentration spell because I don't agree with that. Well, no, I guess actually it would have to. Are you sure?
It's a concentration spell if you're trying to figure out exactly what magic school
Oh,
it
if you
is.
focus and concentrate
if
on
you're
it.
trying to if you're trying to figure out the aura.
Right.
If you're just trying to see if something is magical, you don't really need to concentrate because it's magical.
Right. Okay. So then
I think that's the way you ruled it.
that's why I rolled it. Okay.
Yeah.
So we need to be careful though because the water parting is concentration. So.
Yeah, but Rylar's doing the concentration for.
Oh,
the
right.
And he can just detect magic at will, so that's no concentration for him.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. Only thing that I would like to mention, just because I am reading detect magic, the spell can penetrate most barriers, but it's blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to make sure that.
Yeah. So the root is thick, but where the shard at is within that 3 foot. It's like probably like 2 feet in, right? Imagine that it's probably like a 5 foot diameter.
Diameter.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so halfway in is where it's at, which is just in that range.
Okay.
So.
Okay. I just want to make sure because I just realized what those limitations were, and I could surmise that Rylar could for sure see it because Rylar does some spells differently.
Right.
But I don't think Ked Lorkris could.
Right.
If it was beyond 3.
No, I appreciate you bringing that up. Yeah, but you all can see now. You can see the target you're going for, and you're ready. You part the water, and
Rylar parts the water.
right, Rylar is. You tell him to, and he parts the water. You know, and you're all to your horror and disgust. You see the bottom of the pond bed, the mud and muck at the bottom, is writhing with those yellow worms They have a slight glow to them. They're just like almost covered, almost covered like a blanket, like a carpet of those things along, and they're just utterly disgusting. And not only that, but it's about a 10-foot drop to the bottom of it. So, and then making your way over, it goes up slightly at a slope. So when you get to where you would need to actually interact with the root, since you've parted the water here, we'll just kind of do it like this. I'm assuming that the water part, you're just having it splash up on the tree, so I'm not going to draw this part of the part, right? So you now can see the root. And that kind of windy, kind of, you know, thickness of it. And again, right about, actually it's closer to there, right about there is where that blue glowing shard is. Do you start doing your, you know, you all kind of pause for a second. You haven't started your song yet because they haven't, you know, done anything to make checks yet.
Yeah.
You could easily, because of the soft mud below, even though it's 10 feet, you don't have to necessarily climb. You could just, you know, drop down without even.
I was gonna say,
yeah.
I'd grab Fern, make Fern.
Yeah.
And just like sling her on, hang tight.
You could, but now keep in mind, like I said, the entire floor of all that mud down there is covered in those worms. And Rylar's like, "Ooh, that's disgusting! Don't touch it!"
Okay. I guess what, guys? I have walls and stuff. I'm going to cast Wall of Stone, but where it covers the ground where we would be walking.
I don't think walls of stone work that way. Let me double check.
I mean, Lorkris has an idea. Cantrip. Every step. Oh. Shit. That'd be kind of cool.
So, yeah, I don't think that the intent of that spell was meant to be able to make like floors with it. Like you can make a wall and you can even make a perpendicular ceiling / roof, right? But you can't start with it flat like a floor.
So do you want to make a wall of stone walkway?
I mean,
what's Lorkris' idea?
So I have Word of Radiance as a cantrip that scales, so it's 3d6 radiant damage and a 5-foot AoE around me. Quite literally cast it at every step and just shatter, just like sending out waves of energy, just evaporating these things.
You can
cantrip, might as well.
You can have any shape you desire, though it can't occupy the same space as a creature or an object. The wall doesn't need to be vertical or rest in any form on any firm foundation. It must, however, merge and be solidly supported by existing stone. Thus, you can use this spell as a bridge to bridge a chasm or create a ramp.
Fair enough. Okay. So what's the biggest thickness you can make it though? So you're in a conundrum here.
10 foot by 10 foot. 10 foot by 10 foot. But it's only...
Starkitty,
287 of the player's handbook if you want to pull it up for reference.
No, I was already looking at it. So, what's the thickness of the walls? Is what I was asking her.
6 inches.
Yeah. So the problem is 6 inches. If you remember correctly, these things were able to leap, and 6 inches is definitely within more, like very under their range of being able to leap. You know that they are able to leap at least 5 feet.
Could I construct the wall where instead of us dropping down and then having the wall being created, could I design the wall where we like can walk more directly to, so we would be elevated off of the ground?
So you could. The issue then is that where the root is, though, is close to the bottom of the river.
Okay. What do you think, Lorkris? Is that a good idea or not?
We're gonna have to get rid of these things one way or another. I mean, the closer we get to it, sure, but...
So I'm going to have, since you guys are inspecting it and discussing it, I'm going to have both of you roll nature checks because you're kind of thinking about it.
$23.
52!
22 and 23? So she looks so thrilled that she finally rolled decent. You think about it a little bit more about this particular kind of weird aberration, and you're concerned that as many as you might kill on the surface, that there might be tens of thousands more submerged in the mud, in the muck underneath. And that even as your radiant idea is a good one to kill them in a radius around you as you step through, more are just going to basically kind of wriggle up out of the ground, out of the to a certain degree into the muck. I mean, you got to do something, you know. The problem is too is that you're going to need to be doing, concentrate. I mean, you did say your radiant thing was a cantrip, and you could do it every step, right? And you're going to have her on your shoulder. But or like if you want to do the wall, you could have the wall and take it part way. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to answer I'm not going to solve your problem for you, but I created it for you. But
I have an idea.
Yeah.
Okay. They can, we know they can jump it around, I don't know, 5 feet or so.
Yeah.
Right? And your wall can go how high?
Well, it needs to be supported a little bit.
How high?
So 10 feet.
Okay. They can't jump over the wall. So we might as well go down there, make a mad dash to the spot, and then underneath and around us, you construct the wall so they cannot get in or over, while leaving an exposed area for us to attack or to go after the ailment. So we're kind of encapsulating ourselves in a way that those things can't get into us. So underneath, walls around, open top so we can still communicate.
What do you think, Miss Ray? That's a good idea, I think. Do you think you could, fire blast a bunch of them? Or you could, kill them for us as we're trying to run?
Fern? Do you have your shiny shoes spell prepared?
No. That's a very good idea, though, but I don't.
That is a pretty good idea.
Yeah, just cast it on the bottom and just have it's spike growth, correct?
Yeah.
Have the spike growth, just deal with them and yeah.
Dang. Curses.
That's what we're trying to remove.
I know.
Ooh, I thought of an idea.
Yes, Rylar.
Did you by chance prepare Entangle for today? It would kind of do what the spike growth does. But then we would get stuck in it. It's probably a bad idea.
I don't have
No.
that one either.
Oh.
I could do freedom of movement, which would prevent the. But she doesn't have it.
Oh, so Entangle plus Freedom, but she doesn't have it. So your idea is that she blasts like an opening with a fireball, and you run, and then you get over there and jump on the roots, and then you cast the wall surrounding yourself so they can't leap at you.
That might work. I mean, well, how far can you jump with your ring, Lorkris?
How far away is it from the edge? I can do like 70 some odd feet. I'm pretty sure it's.
Well, if you were drag this dead tree out of the way, which you could easily do.
Yeah.
And you made a leaping jump from this point right here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. It's just right. Like, there's enough, like, roots here you could jump to this root. By the way, you all are brainstorming this, and how long does your spell last?
Yeah, I know.
Control water, yeah.
I'm asking, how long does it last?
Oh, control water is like 10 minutes.
Okay, so we've already eaten up a couple of minutes deciding it, but yeah. So you could jump right over there. Yeah, you could actually jump to the roots, but then a lot of them that are around here could potentially still get to you, but you could climb up over on this side of the root, and if you don't mind touching the root.
I mean, I imagine we're gonna
have to.
Yeah.
And then we could still encapsulate ourselves to be safe just in case. And then do what we have to do.
I would say as I'm.
I mean, I
going
can
to jump over there.
still provide fireball coverage when you guys jump over there to see if I can prevent any of those worms jumping at you as you jump over there.
And then I would just be prepared to cast the wall if they start jumping.
Okay.
Because we may be far enough away where you don't have to waste that resource.
Okay.
And if you see it happening as I'm getting to the root of the problem,
I like it.
Throw the wall up.
Well done.
Okay.
Well done, sir.
Don't forget to turn in your root cause analysis.
I like it. I'm a dentist now.
So, what was it you said? Okay.
I said don't forget to turn in your root cause analysis.
Okay. So, but before that, you're gonna play before all that, just so that he has a higher chance to jump. You're gonna play the music, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I can still inspire them.
All right. So you're getting ready to get all this plan in motion, and you start playing your music, and you notice an interesting reaction from your music. The worms start making a screeching sound from your music, and they start moving away, like wriggling into the dirt and wriggling away out to about a 20-foot radius away from you.
Yes, you're coming with us, Mr. Ray. Come on.
Rylar's like, I'm gonna stand back here by myself. Okay.
You can come too.
I got you guys. I'm supposed to stay up here in case, something happens, right?
Yes.
I'm supposed to concentrate on this thing. I only got like 7 minutes left.
Yep.
Let's go,
Mr. Ray.
team!
Miss Ray,
Yes.
if something happens and something shows up, you can use your magic door and get across, yeah?
Yes.
If something happens, you take Fern.
Yes.
Okay. Ready?
Sure.
All right. On back. She's gonna.
Yep.
So you're gonna jump and.
Yep.
And then she's gonna climb down. Is that the plan?
Well, I mean, I have to stop playing
Or
in
you
order
gonna-
for me
you-
to get down there.
Or are you going to kind of lower her down while she's playing?
I can lower her down while she's playing, and
All right.
then
So I'm going to roll an athletics check. He uses your cloak to lower you down.
I roll athletics.
Yeah, roll your
Or-
athletics check.
Okay, I was making sure I didn't know if that was Emillynn or me. You know, that's
Oh, yeah.
13.
What?
13.
You rolled a 1? That's all right. The DC was a 10. So you easily lower her down. And yeah, the things just spread the heck away from you 20 feet out. They go out that way, they go into the dirt, they go that way. They're like,
They're screeching.
yeah, they're screeching. And then, so you start to make your way over while you're playing. And go ahead and make your jump thing.
Oh, that's way better.
Okay.
Yeah, 30.
So are you trying to jump on the big root or on one of the tree roots next to the big root?
Oh, because the things are moving away from Emillynn, I might as well stay close to Emillynn. So Lorkris would just jump down.
Oh, okay. So you jump down there,
Yeah.
and then you guys
Yeah.
stick together, and you make
Yeah.
your way up here. So now that you're by the root, what you gonna do? You gonna climb up this
So-
root to be right next to it?
Yeah, I'm gonna get to the most comfortable position that I can, start the extraction.
All right, you're all gonna have to roll athletics or acrobatics or dex checks, whatever's easier for you to stand on the slippery root that's at an angle.
Yep.
22.
26.
27.
Oh,
You're all
nice.
doing just good and just fine, and you start hacking away at the root.
So before I start hacking away.
Before you start hacking away.
Yep. I'm really close to the body of the tree, right? Am I able to actually touch the body, the trunk of the tree, or only at root?
Yeah, you can if you trade places with her.
I'll just. Yeah. Either way, I'll place my hand on the tree wherever is most convenient, and just say, "I'm sorry if this hurts,
Okay.
but it's for your own good."
Okay.
And then he's gonna take a
All
deep
right.
breath, look at Fern, and go, "You ready?"
All right. First hit, you cleave a chunk out, and then you just start. You stop for a second and see there's no reaction other than,
Still playing my
the
music.
chunk out. She's playing her music. Fern's nervous and anxious. You're like, okay, and you keep hacking like, you obviously are using your glaive, I would assume, but
Yeah.
you basically using it like an axe to just
The first handful of swings, probably about maybe the first 5 or 6, as he's going, he'd hit and be like, okay, and then that same pattern would start to repeat, but then speed up to where he's no longer pausing in between, and he's just now just in a groove. He's like waiting for something to happen. He feels bad about what he's doing because he knows it's probably hurting the tree, but he's like, we need to get this done.
Yep.
And just starts.
roll your athletics check.
15.
Oh, right on. You just barely hit the DC. Just right.
Yeah.
So after several minutes, you are able to make your way to where the root is, and you still have a couple minutes left. You have 3 minutes left on the part water and 2 minutes left. Actually, it's coming down to the wire. It's the other way around. We have 2 minutes left on the part and 1 minute left on your detect magic. And you see the glowing shard, and it looks like this blackened, almost burnt, kind of corrupted, disgusting, like something that is like I said, like a shard or a splinter, almost like a separate instance of wood or a root within the root. And you all see it, and it's glowing that intensity for those with detect magic on. And then when you kind of focus your eyes without the detect magic part, you see it's just this kind of rotted thing. And you're at that point, and you're playing your music, keeping the worms at bay. And Rylar's all like, he's just intensely watching you guys. Look at this helmet. All right, go ahead and you.
Are you ready?
Oh, where is it? Where are you? No, it's down here.
Every time Fern's hands like clap or like, or she like rubs her hands together, little fruit flies come out. So she's nervous. And the spider that hangs out sometimes just is like, around. He shows up when she's nervous.
Okay.
Okay, are you ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go!
All right, you guys cast your spells at this roughly the same time, and immediately the shard in the center disintegrates. It just kind of evaporates and disintegrates, and you suddenly hear this groan and this shudder and this loud, like trees, you can hear them groan sometimes in the wind or whatever, and you hear a shudder, and it's kind of shaking the whole cave because this tree is so huge and it's kind of part of the whole cave, and brush and branches are kind of falling, and even some rocks from the ceiling, and you're all like. You're a little bit nervous that something really bad is going to happen, but then after a while it dissipates, and you hear almost like Fern hears this kind of and then the root, this root starts to like shake, and like you guys jump back and make your way back quickly because it's like writhing and shaking, and
I am no longer playing my instrument.
Yeah, and you guys run, but then the worms, they also start to like pop like little popcorn in a pop thing. And you run and you climb up, and go ahead and roll me your athletics checks to climb up.
I would dimension door up.
Oh, you would dimension door. You just went zip, and he grabs Fern, you went with her because he told you to.
Yep.
And he just runs over. Actually, you'd probably use your ring and jump over there. And
I could not.
Okay, no, all right. So you just run and climb up. Okay.
Yeah, because to do a jump of that, I would need a 10-foot running start.
Okay, it's all right. No worries. Yeah. So anyway, the vine, the root that's like a vine, it starts to wriggle and writhe, and then it also starts to kind of shrivel, and it kind of splits apart, kind of stretches apart and strips apart as it's like shrinking, and this part just kind of dissipates and dissolves and flops out the cavern entrance into the waterfall as this one kind of shrinks up, and then everything goes quiet.
Fern, go talk to the tree.
We need to get rid of that thing on the wall first, and then I go talk to the tree. I'm gonna go sit in front of the face and wait for you guys to do that, okay?
Okay.
Come on, Rylar, it's your turn.
And then remind me again, it was dispel magic before Rylar was able to deface it, right?
Yes.
Okay. So
I have dispel
Lorkris
magic
will
too.
Go with Rylar.
So who's casting dispel magic? Rylar, you, or him? He will.
I got
it. He got it. All right. You casted dispel magic, and
and given the nature of it, no pun intended. Just because I remember how impactful these things were at the grotto in the bog, Lorkris is really gonna like channel that, almost that anger of knowing what has been done, and he's gonna cast the spell magic at 5th level, even if it's overkill.
Okay.
He's like, this is not staying.
All right, no problem.
I was about to say I can cast it at 7th level if needed, but
That's right. All right.
You do you.
So you do that, and then you cue Rylar as soon as you see the magic start to dissipate, and Rylar starts basically using his purple beamer. Actually, Rylar he's like, I'm so mad at all this nasty stuff like you guys are. I'm not even gonna hold back with the purple beamer. I'm gonna hit it with the big super purple laser. And so he does. He goes. And
Does
just,
that do force damage?
huh?
Does that do
Disintegrate?
force damage though?
It's not disintegrate. It's
The
finger of death.
Oh.
but does that
wait.
do force damage?
Yeah, that's right. That's not
Because
force
last time-
damage. Never mind.
It
He
has
says,
to be
wait,
force
that
damage.
wouldn't work. Never mind. Purple beamer, purple beamer, purple beamer, purple beamer. He just basically tears it up because it's force damage, which can destroy the physical.
I'm gonna play music while Rylar is doing that to see if he can time his purple beamers with my music.
Right on. Right on. I like it. We're giving him a light show too. All right. The giant stone plaque is nothing but just rubble and an extrusion now, and no more runes. And
Fern!
automatically feels almost like a weight has been lifted off her back. Like this place. I mean, obviously it's not instantly healed or anything like that, right? It's still in the state that it's in, but she definitely feels like a weight, like this place has been oppressing her since she was here, and it's not. The weight has been lifted off her back. What do you do?
I'm yelling, Fern, talk to the tree!
I climb up to the tree's face. She just runs up to the tree's face.
Uh-huh. Do you
She goes up-
climb up the root to touch to touch the face or get close to
To
it?
get up to the face.
So as soon as you touch the tree to climb up to it, you feel the sensation of relief, an emotional relief, and then
So I climb up to the top. And I get all up to it. And I cast Speak with Plants.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, hi tree. My name is Fern. Are you okay?
For many moments go by and there's no response. You still get that feeling of relief.
I'm curious to know who drew your face. I just really hope that you're okay.
It's still so quiet. It's like you're not sure if you're even being heard or understood. But you feel like maybe, so did you say you're touching the tree with your hands?
Yeah.
Okay. As you're touching the tree with your hands, again, you have that sensation, you feel relief, like a release is made. And it doesn't feel dead, per se. You're definitely sure that it's no longer diseased or cursed. But I'm going to let you roll a nature check. Actually, no, I'm going to have you roll a medicine check.
Let's. 15.
Okay, that was the DC. It's a moderate. You begin to suspect based. I'm gonna also roll a nature check for me.
P4.
Okay. You're kind of. This is a bittersweet moment because you've obviously freed the tree of whatever dark affliction had been, what's the word I'm looking for?
Plaguing.
Huh?
Plaguing.
Injected into it, right? Whatever dark affliction was injected into it, but and so that's the sweet moment. But the bitterness of it is that you get the sense that what you're kind of speaking to is, like an old man in an old folks' home whose mind is gone from too many years of having, dementia or something.
Is there a place on the roots in front of the face that I can sit comfortably?
Yes.
I'm going to sit down.
Mm-hmm. While you're thinking about that, I do want to clarify. I wasn't quite done describing. So that's right. You get the sense, like I said, it's like an old person whose mind is gone, and you get the sense that maybe it's possible the mind could come back, but you also suspect, because of the way the natural order of things works, it might take as long as the thing has been suffering for its mind to return.
I'm going to turn around to the party. I might be here for a moment. So, he's not really there yet, but I'm gonna try to do the thing that I did at the grotto.
Out of character, what was that? So you can tell everybody?
I'm gonna be sitting there and I want to do the whole plant growth. Think about, or
Wasn't there another element that you guys did there too, I believe?
I mean, she did plant growth for like the 24 hours.
or the 8 hours,
Or
where
the
I
8
sit
hours,
it, I
yeah.
sit and cast it for 8 hours.
Right, but I do
And
believe
then-
that also Lorkris cast Hallow in the spot, didn't he?
Did you cast?
I mean, I have.
Or wasn't it like sanctuary or something?
So Sanctuary is different.
No, yeah, Sanctuary is not. Sanctuary is for like the combat. It's a combat spell. Hallow.
I mean,
Hallow takes 24 hours.
Right. I'm pretty sure that's what you guys did, didn't you?
I mean, I have ceremony. I never had the hallowed spell.
I don't know. For some reason, I thought you guys did some sort of cleansing spell besides just the plant growth. Like a ritual. I thought you had said that you did a ritual that was like where you basically sanctified the ground, and I thought that was the hollow spell, but
so I don't have the hallowed spell.
It's a 5th level cleric spell. It's
Oh.
not a paladin spell.
never mind then. That wouldn't have been the case. And she doesn't have it? It's not a druid spell?
Mm-mm.
I didn't think it
I
was.
wouldn't be
but-
surprised if I did like a ceremony ritual.
Maybe I'm misremembering, because there have been times when we have done that, but it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't at the witch bog. What do you guys remember?
I thought you just said plant growth.
Yeah, doing the plant growth and then clearing out those runes.
Yeah, and I do know that I remember Miss Ray was playing music, and I feel like, though I don't think that you really did anything in particular, you did just do like, it wasn't like an actual thing, but you did do like sat with and did like a prayer to Malora or something like that.
Banana Tom says, I only remember Fern doing the 24-hour wait, which was the with the plant growth stuff. Yeah. Looks like you guys were confirmed. Gotcha. So, thank you. I'm sorry.
Chronicler strikes again.
Yeah, Banana Tom.
Thank you, Banana Tom, and
Yes.
thank you, Rhea, for the raid.
Yes, thank you for the raid,
Thank
Rhea.
you for the raid.
Appreciate
We all
you.
saw it.
Mhm.
We saw it.
And thank you, Aries, for truly understanding what's going on, and I mean, like you all do, but I mean, for saying something and sharing it with chat. I love that. I love that about you, buddy. All right, so we were saying that. So your plan is you've shared with the group that you want to do to this area what you did before, which is going to take 24 hours of constant, meditation and the plant growth spell and stuff, right?
Yes.
pretty sure it was because the spell says 8 hours, but if we need to do it for 24, I could definitely do that. But I vaguely remember the 8 hours. But was it 24?
It was 24.
Oh, was it? Okay, never mind.
Because I believe what you did is you did like 8-hour sections and took small breaks in between that,
Mm-hmm.
and then another 8-hour bit, and then and then as we left, you were exhausted. Lorkris carried you.
I remember now.
Yeah,
You guys are right.
I remember that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah.
So if Fern's going to be doing that, at least in the beginning of that time frame, Lorkris will do what he can to clean up the area, such as the trees that we fought, those tree sentinels. He would, not to say dispose of them, but he'd move them in a way where they're kind of like out of the way, but not like discarded.
Right.
And then tend to the bodies.
Okay.
And
So you're gonna
give
strip
them
the
the
bodies
proper
of their poppers and their gear. Basically, randomly they don't have anything spectacular, but they have some decent, just like some +1 magical armor, maybe a couple of, we got two different sets of +1 magical armor and a couple of. I mean, we'll write it down. It's important, but.
And we should bury the 2 bodies that are still here.
Well, yeah. Go ahead.
Lorkris will. That's kind of the plan. But Lorkris, hang on.
By the way, I do want to share too, while you're getting ready to go do all that work, you all immediately notice, just within a few minutes, because of the rush of the waterfall into this, underground cave pond, it's cleaning out that brackish, disgusting water very quickly.
Well, never mind.
And which means it'll also be clearing out the pond below very quickly as well. So just thought I'd keep that in mind. It's obvious in a short period of time. So
Lorkris is gonna do the body thing tomorrow.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because Lorkris wants to do speak with dead.
Gotcha. He wants to. So he's going to have to prepare it. All right. So and then
But
on
he can
top of
prepare the
that,
space. Yeah.
this will
he can
give
get
you the
everything-
opportunity to get the other 2 bodies out of the other pond, right?
Mhm.
Where do you intend to bury them? On the lower pond, next to it, I mean, or the plateau? Like, where do you want to bury them?
It's something that
Or
I know.
in here, for example, like wherever you want.
Yeah, so Lorkris has kind of got this idea. They were here when we found them. Though they did attack us. With, being stemmed from something that seemed hostile, they were still trying, in a way, he views it as they were trying to protect the space. And he wants to honor that and give them a proper aspect of protection. So even though Lorkris knows that in asking questions and speak with dead, they're probably not. They might have an inclination, because he's going to ask, do you want to be buried with in the view? Do you want to be buried here as sentinels? Do you want to be further down the pond? But kind of bestowing, you are now the sentinels of this space.
Okay.
Bestow purpose upon them, as a spirit aspect rather than necessarily physical.
Right. For sure.
Wants their input.
Okay, that's a great idea. So you want to actually speak with dead to communicate with them and figure out where they want to be buried. I like that. And then all right.
And then bury them where they choose.
So it'll take another 8 hours of rest, another long rest basically for you to get that back. But you guys basically already just rested like a little while ago. So
Yeah, so it'll literally have to be the next day, which is
Right.
fine because it gives us plenty of time to go retrieve the other bodies from down the way.
Mhm.
Clear the space, clean up the area with the tree sentinels that attacked us.
what do you want to do with them? Do you want to yeah.
I don't know yet.
I mean, they are basically dead trees. They'd make for good firewood, I suppose.
Yeah. I don't know. Lorkris will.
Whatnot.
I know. Lorkris will ponder what he wants to do with them, possibly waiting for Fern to be done to be like, is there any way that we could do something with them rather than just chop them up or just leave them here? In the meantime, he's going to kind of shift them into a space that's kind of out of the way where it's not intrusive. So probably where the other two are, those ones that you're touching, those will probably stay kind of where they are and bring that third one over. Yeah.
Okay.
He's not sure if, I mean, he's sure that he could probably pick them up eventually with stress and see if we could like plant them like a post, but I don't know if Fern would be down with that. So he's gonna wait till she's done to discuss really what to do with those, or if they're fine where they are.
So you're gonna wait for her total 24 hours, or are you gonna wait for one of her few minute breaks in between the 8 hours?
He'll probably ask it in between the few minutes, and if she's up for having that discussion, then cool. If not, then he'll like, then let me know before we leave, and just kind of like allow Fern to do her thing because he knows it's taxing and emotional and difficult. He doesn't really want to add to that stress.
Gotcha. And you said that you every once in a while were gonna play music to help inspire her.
Mm-hmm. Play music, check on her, and have some water. Fern, eat a little something.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Okay. And Rylar is going to help you with everything that you're doing. You know, dragging the trees, getting the bodies, you know, all of that stuff. And when you guys are down there doing that, he's like, it's so much different now than it was before already. maybe Miss Fern can make this place like the other one again.
Yeah, it will take some time. It makes me wonder, though, in this time that we've been traveling, that the grotto and the bog, I wonder what that looks like now.
Me too.
Imagine it's better than when we left it, and I hope it's better now that this is done, because I imagine this affected it as well.
It did? Really?
It looks to stretch in the same direction, and it did feel the same to Fern.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. Whoa.
Not to mention those abysmal runes that you destroyed, and they're very similar to the ones we saw there.
Well,
we should check that out soon.
So during that 24 hours that she's going to be super busy, we're doing some work too, obviously. Is there anything else that you all can think of that you want to discuss or roleplay or in that time frame, or would you like me to exposition what happens next after we get to that point?
In those times I'm not playing, I'm writing the report.
Right, of course. And some of it will be sleeping because she's going to be, yeah.
Lorkris will also constantly check on Fern in that time frame and just like ensure that she's doing well. I know Emmylynn's got a hold of it, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, for sure.
Oh yeah.
During that time, the next day after the first 16-hour chunk, Rylar is gonna go use his survival skills outside. He's gonna go down and out, and he's gonna go wander into the deeper thicket of the forest, and in that time frame, he makes he couldn't find peaches, but he found some apricots and made you an apricot and almond pie. So you would have that to eat while you're during the last leg of your spell journey. So and when that time frame is done, the 24 hours are up, and she has basically blanketed this place with grass and moss and fungus and not fungus like the scary kind of fungus, you know, like moss and flowers and bushes and anything that just kind of grows naturally. She's basically spread it out as much as it's gone. It's spread around up the tree, the old tree, along the other trees, just kind of touching everything. And you're amazed at how much progress she makes in that 24-hour period of time. This place, you know, obviously there's still a lot of room for growth, but the place has changed visually a lot in that time frame. And it looks like she was about to say something.
Throughout the whole time, is trying to imagine having roots that go down and touch the ley lines. She's gonna try to imagine the roots connecting to the different grottos and stuff, and as she's doing the whole spell stuff.
Right. Excellent. When that time is done, you guys obviously we're all hovering around her, coming over. You know, don't want to disturb her, not hovering over her, but come over and sit down next to her and wait for her last few minutes to be done. And it's kind of like, I don't know if you guys ever saw the original Poltergeist, the Steven Spielberg version, the first one. No? I know she hasn't. He hasn't either? Holy crap. Really?
I wouldn't be surprised if I've actually seen it, but I don't remember.
Oh, that's right. Well, there's this moment where this person is helping them, and it's a really tough fought, and she's just wiped out and exhausted. But Fern looks around at you guys, and she says, "This place is clean now." And then she reaches up and she wants to. You can see she's got a wave of relief and exhaustion. You know, it's kind of like when you've been up for a ridiculous amount of time, but you're both tired, but you're also kind of pumped at the same time because, you know, it's that weird kind of elation. And of course she feels much happier about this space now and what you all have done here. And she reaches up to caress the tree by its face and touch the face. And she feels this kind of, almost, again, it's like the tree, like if she has a vision, it's not a real vision, it's just an imaginary vision, as if the tree is kind of reaching out to her from its state of kind of mental degradation and aloneness. It's kind of reaching out to her. As it's reaching out to her, you see this peaceful look on her face. She looks so happy and relaxed, and she feels a connection in the tree. She realizes in that moment that, yes, the consciousness, the mind of this tree is still alive somewhere in there. It's going to take a long time for it to come back and be able to communicate like it did. But it's still there, and it's reaching out to her inside this dark, but not dark like scary dark, but just this kind of, when you have your eyes closed, kind of space, as if you're moving through the layers and rings of the tree, and you can feel yourself getting closer to the center of the ring of that tree. And you as you do so, there's this moment where the tree you feel emotion from the tree, like almost a moment of recognition and elation, and like a moment of joy that it hasn't felt in years. And it wants to grab you. It wants to like hold on to that joy, that moment that you're bringing it. And it kind of draws you in. It wants to suck you in. But your reaction, because of it's almost so psychically violent, not violent in a bad way, just kind of a shocking, oh yes, you know, your natural reaction is to, oh, I gotta back up a second. You know, I gotta, you know, I want to be, but you know, it's like someone's trying to grab you, and you're like, oh, but in that moment, as it tries to kind of because you know, your reaction is real because it feels like it's trying to suck you in. for a moment you're afraid you'll lose yourself into this giant tree, and that's why it's just nerve-wracking to you. It's just not nerve-wracking, but it's just this moment of fear, right? This moment of surprise, of shock, and because of your reaction to not accept it, you kind of mentally jump back, and your first thought is one of your. I have to add a character, Druid. This is a tough question, all right? But would you say that the Sacred Grove or your garden has more attachment for your character? Which one would feel more home? I feel like the garden, just by a slim margin, because
Literally by like a blade of grass.
right, like a slim margin, like a 0.01% more the garden, because
Literally.
you've created the space, you've shared it with your friends and your loved ones, right? And it just that's the way I see it. So what happens is, in that moment, that's the first thing that comes to your mind as your refuge. And in that moment, you guys see her completely vanish. Her body just goes, just vanishes. Just suddenly this black glob goes, and the tree kind of opens up and sucks her in an instant. And you guys are like, what the hell just happened? She just saved this place, and the tree just sucked her in. And she finds herself sitting in her garden in front of the tree that she put the face on. And she's sitting in the garden, and she looks around, and she sees Mr. Jocko is sitting on the bench that she made for them, eating a sandwich. And he sees this, and the sandwich just falls out of his mouth and out of his hand.
I'm standing there, I knew it!
and he just waves at her. Is that you? Is that you, Lash?
Jocko.
Oh fuck.
Jocko.
Are you okay?
Yeah, that was.
You did IRL psychic damage to my husband just now.
We almost just saw a hate crime.
Is this really? Are you really Jocko?
He's like, well, yes, Lass. Are you really Fern?
Yes.
What you doing here, Lass? You weren't here a second ago. You're right there by your. He scratches his head.
Well, I'm going to sit in front of the tree.
Mm-hmm.
And just be like, Jocko, you never saw me. And I'm just gonna try to.
All right. Before you get to that point, we're gonna pause back and go back and role play what happens between between Rylar and Miss Ray and Lorkris. You guys literally see this moment of peace and happiness as she's finished her duty, her job, her joy, her passion to cleanse this place, and then suddenly the tree just literally sucks her right into it.
I drop whatever I'm holding. And then I'm like, I knew it. I knew there was a teleportation portal here somewhere. Didn't I tell you that, Rylar? Didn't I tell you that? Tree, give her back!
What Rylar's just. What do you do, Lorkris? How do you react?
Lorkris is
I'm like
ready
making
to
my
rip
way up
this
there.
tree
Tree, give
asunder.
her back.
He's ready to what?
To rip this tree asunder.
Okay.
Because all that he knows is that this tree has taken her.
Right.
And of course, like, in a logical thought, he might not think that way, but like
It's an emotional response. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say that Emillynn, this is the most furious you've ever seen Lorkris. Like,
quite terrifying. You've never really seen Fern taken away from Lorkris, and this has never happened. And it's like, be
So
prepared.
Oh,
I imagine.
I'm upset too. I'm yelling at the tree.
Yeah, I mean, you've
I'm
got
kicking the
spirit
roots.
guardians
Rylar's
that
watching you guys. I'm imagining that you walk up
Yeah.
to the tree, you get your glaive out, and you're like shaking rage mad, like ready to chop that thing open.
I'm
Yeah.
screaming and yelling. Give her back.
And Miss Fern, you're back in your garden, and I guess it seems to me that you've confirmed you're there with Mr. Jocko, and he's confirmed it with you. And you said you turn around and look at the tree, and you think to yourself, "Oh wow, my friends just saw me vanish."
Jocko?
So you're
Don't talk to me
completely
right now.
muted. You got none of your words.
Okay. Okay, Jocko, listen. You cannot interrupt me right now. This is really important. Okay. You can watch, but don't talk to me. And I'm going to try to go back.
And how do you do that?
Can I use teleport via plants now?
Do you have it prepared for the day?
What?
You do?
I do.
How is it? It's not a long cast time?
It's a one action.
Cast the spell.
I'm going to. Ooh, I did not mean. Yeah, I'm going back. I'm going back.
Okay, so you touch the tree, you imagine the other tree, and you cast your spell as you touch it. And just as you suddenly pop back into existence right next to the tree, you see Lorkris getting ready to hack right where you're sitting.
You hear me screaming and yelling, "Give her back! Give her back now!"
Guys, I
What?
just was back in the garden with Jocko.
I did not hear a word you said. I'm just running up to you and I'm like hugging you, going, "Oh my God, the tree gave you back! Thank God!"
What does Lorkris do? Obviously, I assume you drop your weapon. You were moments away from your swing.
Yeah, Lorkris, again, uncharacteristically, is just overcome with emotion.
Yeah, I'm crying too.
Yeah. Fern probably will take a D4 of bludgeoning damage from being crushed.
So you're gonna go up and bear hug the two of them? You're gonna just like grab them?
I mean, no offense, just Fern.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I would have hugged her and then I would have backed off going, okay, Fern is good. Fern is
Or,
good.
you know,
Oh my
you
God.
can be hugging her and he's hugging her too, and it's, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But, yeah, Fern, it's a little snug. It's a little snug.
All right, so the two of you are hugging her with extreme emotion. And Rylar says, he walks up and he just, he bear hugs all of you. This is fun. Maybe she should disappear more often so we can hug more often.
You can always ask for hugs.
Oh, I can?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that.
I am profusely
Anytime.
thanking the tree for giving you back.
Oh, listen, guys. It took me back to my garden at home in Misty City.
What? You okay?
Yeah.
Over there, Fate?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you bonked your wrist or something. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
No, it's fine. I was adjusting my bracelet.
Oh, okay. Sorry, go ahead.
So
Once I finished stopping sobbing, I'm like, "But what did you say, Fern? I did not hear a word you just said. I'm just so happy you're back."
I'm happy to be back. But you guys, it teleported me all the way back to the garden. And then I teleported myself back.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So there is a root cluster underneath this tree?
is different.
Yeah, there's no root cluster under this tree. I think we would have seen that, felt it.
Yeah. No, this is different than the root clusters. They probably took the idea of what happens with this tree. Probably.
Oh, and made like an arcane version of it.
Yeah, that's my guess. But you guys, I know that was scary. And I appreciate you guys being afraid for me. But we can all teleport back to any tree I've ever talked to.
How do you know we all can go?
I feel it in my heart.
So, add a character. I'm gonna retcon something you just said slightly. You can't do it to any tree you've ever talked to. You can only do it to trees that you put a face on.
Which is almost every tree I talk to, I put the face on.
Mostly, you're right. You got me there.
So we need to, so still out of character. We need to like definitively make a list of all the trees so we know where we can actually go.
She's gonna have to make that because I don't remember.
So there's at least the grove. There's the tower. There's the bog witches area.
Mm-hmm.
The probably some random tree around Rheingold Colony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple of splatterings of random ones between there and here, but the main ones that are like...
Yeah, I would say like Rheingold, Misty City, Sacred Grotto,
Tower.
Both.
Yeah, the tower.
Three outside of the Goldothian mines.
Oh yeah.
The what?
Yeah.
She did put a face on a tree outside the
that's right.
Goldothian mines.
The Goldothian mines. Two trees in this
the-
area. The big tree itself has its own face, and the one she put
And then the one-
Up
on
the plateau. Yeah.
In a way, kind of like out of character. Would that I know you said technically every tree that she's made a face on, but she never made a face on this tree. This tree already had a face. So, as long as she's familiar with the tree with a face, whether it was already there or created, in theory, she should be able to transport to. That's what you get. Yell in my ear.
Or this might bear. Rylar says this bears some investigation, doesn't it?
It really, really does. I can only do it once a day, though.
Oh. And then I'm so happy she's back. That was scary. And so, Fern, you're excited by all this adrenaline rush, and then suddenly she's all like,
And she passes out.
and she passes out from exhaustion.
I'm tired.
Yeah, you have you find yourself with 3 levels of exhaustion from all of that.
You're gonna be sleeping for some time.
Mm-hmm. You guys are gonna camp out in this spot for a couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
Probably. Yeah.
So
The only other thing that I know that needs to be done is talking with the bodies.
Mm-hmm.
And doing that. So I don't know do we want to start next episode with that?
I was gonna say, yeah, this was meant to be the cliffhanger of this episode, or the not cliffhanger, but crescendo ending of this episode.
I was going to say, if you wanted to
I
leave
was
it on a
thinking
cliffhanger,
starting-
you should have left it when Fern disappeared.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, that would have been interesting. Cliffhanger.
That would have been good.
Yeah.
That would have fucked me up for a week.
Which is why I didn't do it. I love you guys too much for that.
I would have been I could not focus at work. I'd be like, I don't care. Don't talk to me. I have things to figure out. Yeah.
Well. Okay. Wow.
Wow.
Another impactful night, and new things have been learned, and new abilities have been mastered, and still some more to learn. Like,
oh yeah,
he's got to talk to the bodies, and she needs to
Sleep.
You know, with sleep after she's done sleeping. But when she wakes up, she's going to be curious about this now. She knows the faces of the trees where she's put faces. Is there some way for her to connect with the trees somewhere else that might have faces?
She can ask the trees.
Think about this. And that's where we'll leave off for this wonderful evening.
Fern's gonna look at every single tree we pass by. Do you have a face? Do you have a face? Do you have a face?
Who's that? Silas?
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
Hi, Silas.
What's up? How are you, buddy? Welcome back.
Yes, again, thank you, Rhea, for the raid if you're still here, and everybody that came in as well.
And new chatter, Ginga Chris, is that right?
Hello, Ginga Chris. Thank you for the follow earlier, too.
Yeah, I didn't go through the follow. Honestly, I think we've had 4 followers tonight. So for all of you folks who are still here who followed, thank you so much. And for those who aren't still here but followed during the stream, thank you so much. Hopefully someday, some way, you will see this, maybe in the YouTube video or something. But I just want you all to know how much we appreciate you. And
yes.
For the one person that we know is here, welcome, Ginga. We appreciate you coming. And we do this every Saturday night. This was our 51st episode. And we got lots more to come. Although you guys are level
13.
Not exactly. So just so you guys know, the first thing that we'll be role-playing next week, before we role-play, write down, speak with the bodies, and Fern trying to, I don't know, research, or not research, that's the wrong word, but what am I trying to say? Investigate the tree connection, the tree network, right? Before that, the first thing that we're going to do is a new level up dream sequence. And we'll do that then. And so this week, between now and then, you guys can do your actual mathematical on paper level ups to level 14. Okay.
So, but if you remember any places that I have put trees on or faces on trees, please message me, sir.
Okay.
The Chronicler.
Yes. I have to say I'm so happy that the Chronicler is stuck.
That the what is stuck?
I hope the Chronicler. I called Banana Tom the Chronicler because he's been going through all the past VODs and doing clips. So he's chronicling our stories through clips. And it just so happens, sorry Banana Tom, if no one else knows this, but that was the title that Banana Tom got and used a lot in Destiny, because you can grab titles, and one of them was the Chronicler, and I was like, just let it stick.
I think that's amazing.
Yeah,
Banana Tom.
So I think it's very fitting.
It is.
You know, as much as I think like the Lore Keeper is great, I think Chronicler makes more sense for, because you're now going back chronological order, and you know.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yes, Banana Tom, you are very much loved and appreciated.
As are all of you guys, Aries as well. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
Aries, Dagoth.
Confusion Man was here lurking tonight
Shadow
too.
Man.
Oh man. Dagoth. Oh wow.
Ginger Chris.
The Spacious Ninja was here tonight. Well, our hearts go out to you guys.
Confusion Man?
Yes.
That's I love it.
I believe we caught Confusion Man during Diablo 4, and we're honored to have him with us. And Golden Drake is here as well. I've been lurking too. Fun session. Take care. Thank you, guys.
Yes, thank you, Golden Drake. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Shadow Man.
Right.
Yes.
New folks. Big Stormkeep hugs to all of you. Have a wonderful evening.
Don't forget, if you're not already following Druid IRL and Extirpate Fate,
Yep.
go ahead and drop them some follows.
Yep.
Fate, are you streaming tomorrow?
Yes, I'm going to be playing some more Hollow Knight and trying to dig further down into this dirt mound to clean up Fern's garden that she's kind of left us under. It's got a little problem down there, so, just figuring it out.
Interesting. All right.
Well, just so everybody that's new, in the halls of Stormkeep, the hot tub and sauna are on the 3rd floor.
Oh.
Dining hall is on the 2nd floor, and I'm pretty sure if you need to teleport in, that's on the basement level. Right below sub-level 365, which is the dungeon, so just got to be careful going through the dungeons, though, okay?
I believe we put in a secret passage that can bypass the dungeon from the teleportation room.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure guest quarters are below my personal quarters, which would be level 7. Be careful walking up the steps, though. There's a couple of places that I have a tendency to trip on, so just be careful.
And don't mind me, I just wander around wherever there's things need to be fixing.
Right on. That was mostly improv. Apparently somebody has been writing down what some folks have been saying.
No, it's been written.
It's been written.
I get that it's been written, but it's been made up by all of you folks who are building Stormkeep, and we appreciate you.
Yes.
Shout out to OG Blaze that also contributed to that too.
Exactly. He's one of our bigger contributors to that whole the Stormkeep architecture.
And if anybody has any wonderful ideas on where to place things, let us know. Pretty soon, don't know when, hopefully this year, someone will make a map of Stormkeep and put it all down on paper.
That'll be fun.
Stormkeep map stream.
All right. With that said, thanks again, guys. Have a wonderful evening.
Love you
Philip loves you, but loves Lorkris more.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Peace.
Peace, love, and chicken grease.